wana shida hawajui kunaye anayepeana majina hawajui na watawaijua ni nini kesho Mungu amepanga na maisha yako cha muhimu niwe kujitambua na usonge na rada yake hawajui na watawaijua ni nini kesho Mungu amepanga na maisha yako cha muhimu niwe kujitambua na usonge na rada yake usichoke kupambana yote ukimwamini Bwana story yako itabadilika.
Indeed, story yako itabadilika. When you hear when you see us start you know, with a groove in the morning, so you know this is Entertainment Thursday. A very good morning from wherever you're joining us. My name is Marie Yambo, and definitely DJ Unique is in studio together with my colleague Vivian, just to take you through today's program. I'll bring you up to speed with what is happening in the news, including the strike at the JKIA, which has been called off. We'll be bringing you up to speed with that, and definitely business and sports. And I'm not alone, just as you've seen, with DJ Unique in studio. DJ, how are you?
I'm good.
Tuambie leo umetupangia nini?
Leo unajua unapeleka wasee na speed ya news.
Okay.
Mimi nawapeleka na speed ya mangoma mpya. Yeah, so on the lineup niko na Guardian Angel still. Actually tumetoka kucheza ngoma yake na still ako na new song with Star Icon inaitwa juu kama celeb. Fenagitu pia kana new song. Oliver Music na Steve Simple Boy, they have a new song called Brikicho, Saru, Maintain, Sean MMG, and the list is endless. So tukiendelea actually be sampling them one by one, so keep it locked there.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to talk much because the guru, you know, as far as this is concerned, Entertainment Thursday that is, Vivian Degwa will be taking you through some of the you know, songs that DJ Unique has just mentioned. But Vivian, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Marie. Good morning, Unique, and a very good morning to each and every one of you who is tuned in on the show. First of all, I just love the fact that each and every week, Unique, you have new songs that have been released. It just shows that our artists are truly working. Like every single week, we have like 5 songs that are new, that are newly released. So it's a beautiful thing to always witness. My name is Vivian Degwa. On this 12th day of September, we are here in and ready just to make sure that your Thursday starts off on a really, really good note right here on Entertainment Thursday. We have a special show lined up for you. Okay, every day is special, right? Every day is a special day. So we have a great show lined up for you right here. And I am most excited about an interview on amputees who are models. Have you ever thought about that? There is a Mr. and Miss Amputee show that is coming up, and I'll be having the founders here as well as models that are amputees. You definitely want to stay tuned for that. Back to you, Marie, for the news.
Thank you so much, Vivian. Just to touch a little bit on that song that DJ played. I think DJ is Maisha Yako Itabadilika or something. I've never heard of the song, by the way. It's a new song, isn't it?
It's
No.
not really a new song.
Oh, it's not a new song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But it's talking about change and all that? Yes, I just feel like I just want to put a word out there for somebody who's feeling probably life has been so hard, you know, nothing seems to be moving and all that. Change is inevitable, whichever way that change comes into your life, Vivian and DJ. So whether it's positive or negative, change is something that has to happen in your life.
That's true.
It's constant. So the thing is about embracing whatever change comes, because when you fight that change, it becomes more difficult to adapt to life. But at the end of the day, I'm learning and I'm growing in my spirituality, if I may put it that way. And that is, you take charge of your own change. Whatever you want in your life, don't wait for an outside entity there to help you out. It's you to decide, this is what I want, and pursue that line. And definitely with the help of God, you will be able to get there. So don't be discouraged. Just know that change is inevitable, but how you adapt to that change is what is going to help you out. So I thought I should just say that. So thank you so much. It's time for the news, where the Kenya Aviation Workers Union has reached a return to work deal with the government, ending the strike which kicked off on Tuesday night. During the negotiations facilitated by the Ministry of Transport and union leaders, the union maintained that the return to work deal was not an agreement or an endorsement of the proposed takeover of JKIA. KAU's Secretary General Mos Ndiema said workers were granted veto powers, allowing them to halt the controversial deal at any stage if their concerns are not addressed. Joseph Akongo kicks off our bulletin this morning.
Day of airport workers' strike, which left thousands of travelers at JKIA and major airports in the country stranded.
I'm heading to the UAE, a place called Sharjah. I've been here for the last 2 hours.
Look, I can understand that people are frustrated with various different situations at the airport.
The government and striking workers finally reached a deal meant to end the industrial action. Kenya Aviation Workers Union on Wednesday afternoon reached a return to work agreement with the government following a meeting between union leaders and Transport CS Davis Chichir. KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli confirmed that the union has agreed to peruse through their done deal documents in the next 10 days before declaring their next course of action.
We undertake to go through them within 10 days, working days, and flag out areas of our concern which shall immediately be pointed out with a view of jointly engaging in discussion with the government.
He cautioned the government and KAA against entering into any final agreement without concurrence with the aviation workers.
That is government, Kenya Airport Authority shall is mandatory, shall not enter into any final agreement or append their signatures without concurrence with the Kenya Aviation Workers Union.
Speaking at the same meeting, Transport CS Davis Chirchir, however, defended the proposal to lease JKIA to Indian firm Adani, noting that the move will enable the country to have much-needed new airport.
We do all agree that we need a new airport. We need a new investment. When visitors arrive during the El Nino, you all appreciate how the whole place was leaking.
KAU SG Mos Ndiema, while urging the workers to resume their duties with immediate effect, however, was quick to point out their resolve to continue putting pressure on the government to drop the deal.
Hatujasema sisi tumekubali Adani.
Now, President William Ruto has urged Parliament to consider passing the Conflict of Interest Bill in its original form and do away with any changes that may negate its spirit. Speaking while receiving assets recovered by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, totaling 5 billion shillings at State House, Nairobi, the head of state warned that he will veto the bill if it is submitted to him with the current amendments. The bill before Parliament is geared towards prohibiting public and state officers from doing business with the government.
The anti-graft body is currently focused on asset tracing and recovery in a move.
I have never called him to tell him anything about what he is supposed to do with the corrupt.
That has led to the recovery of 35 title deeds measuring approximately 18.71 acres with a total value estimated at Kenya shillings 5 billion.
The audacity of corrupt individuals in their attempt to convert public property to personal use.
You can imagine grabbers went to the judiciary to steal their land. They were very daring, but we managed to recover this piece of land, which is worth 1.4 billion shillings. Same grabbers were daring enough to go and grab land belonging to the police. But we managed to recover this, and these are 3 pieces of land worth 1.2 billion.
In addition, the Commission also recovered cash asset totaling to over 500 million shillings.
I therefore commend the EACC for recovering assets valued at approximately 28 billion over the last 5 years, including both cash, movable and immovable assets.
It is in this light that the President has urged members of Parliament to pass the Conflict of Interest Bill with urgency. The bill, which seeks to bar public and state officers from doing business with the government.
I have engaged with parliamentary leadership and urged Parliament to swiftly pass the Conflict of Interest Bill. I am told there is a mediation process that is going on in Parliament.
We, however, wish to request your support in overcoming some of the obstacles that hinder or slow down our efforts. For example, our legal framework needs to be streamlined for efficiency and effectiveness.
The head of state stating that the bill ought to meet its intended purpose.
But I have told them with clarity that I will veto any bill that does not establish a high standard of accountability, integrity, and anti-corruption measures, and I will fully exercise my powers under Article 115 of the Constitution to ensure that the bill meets the rigorous standards set out in the original draft bill.
Further, the President asked the Attorney General Dorcas Oduor to ensure that critical amendments to key acts aimed at combating graft are tabled in Parliament to help the country slay the dragon.
The other measures that we have proposed from the Evidence Act to Witness Protection Act to Public Procurement Act, these are time-bound, and I want to ask the Office of the Attorney General to expedite these pieces of legislation so that we can strengthen our legal framework.
Further, the President has called on the Chief Justice to ensure judiciary expedite cases of corruption for Kenyans to get justice.
And I want to encourage EACC to expedite and also ask the judiciary to expedite these processes so that public resources and public assets can be recovered.
The Commission implored on the Executive to consider adequately resourcing the anti-graft body for it to effectively discharge its mandate.
It may not be the right thing to talk about. I know we are having a lot of financial problems, but the Commission since 2004, the SRC has refused to review the salary of the EACC because they say already compared to the public service, the EACC, we are overpaid.
But taking into account what the CEO has said and what EACC is doing in protecting public property, I think it is an engagement worth having with the Salaries Commission.
Abdiaziz Hashim from State House, Nairobi.
Thank you, Abdiaziz Hashim, for that report. Now, the anticipated post-mortem exercise for 21 children who perished in the inferno at Hillside Academy failed to kick off on Wednesday. Government pathologist Johansen Oduor said the postponement was meant to enable the parents of the victims to view the bodies together. This comes amidst reports that parents will stage a demonstration at the ill-fated school, that is today, to mark 1 week since the incident, and are accusing the government agencies, of being opaque over details of what transpired on the fateful night.
On Wednesday morning, a section of parents, officers from the government pathologist, forensic experts from the DCI, other experts and counsellors converged at Narumoru Level 4 Hospital. It would have been the last day parents would have to make this painful journey to the morgue, or at least for a month until the DNA matching exercise is complete. Parents and other stakeholders are briefed on what the process of conducting the autopsy would include. But hours went by and the exercise just won't start. 7 hours later, the government pathologist Johansen Oduor would emerge to announce the abortion of the exercise.
We have bodies of 21 boys. We were to begin the autopsy process today, but we held it until tomorrow. We put a hold on it up until tomorrow because we have many relatives who are coming in and they want to view the body. So we decided that to give them closure so that now we can start the process. Autopsy is a process which involves families also. So to give them that closure and have us walk the journey with them, we give them the day today just to view, to have closure, so that now tomorrow morning we start the process afresh.
Oduor claimed parents needed to view the bodies of their kin together, occasioning the postponement to Thursday morning.
We have a big team of doctors, investigators, and analysts from Cambridge and from government chemists. And it's a hope that with that team, we'll be able to finish the autopsy tomorrow.
Earlier, there were claims that the exercise had failed to kick off owing to the state of the bodies that have been lying in the morgue since Saturday. This comes amidst reported planned protests by parents at the school meant to push the government to hasten investigations into what transpired. Thursday marks 1 week since the tragedy occurred.
And still on matters education, the government through the Ministry of Education has cautioned schools administrators and education stakeholders against flouting the established safety standard manuals for schools in Kenya in accordance to the Basic Education Act 2013, that is. In a press release on Wednesday, the ministry said it is conducting a countrywide inspection of schools to ensure compliance with safety standards.
The tragic death of 21 pupils at the Hillside Academy fire tragedy in Nyeri County brought into sharp focus the safety standards at schools in the country. The Ministry of Education has now vowed to take swift action against school administrators and Ministry of Education officials who will be found to have violated the safety standards manual contained in the Education Act of 2013. In a press statement, the ministry stated that in collaboration with other relevant agencies, they have initiated an urgent countrywide inspection of all public and private basic learning institutions to assess their level of compliance with the safety standards manual for schools in Kenya. The ministry said the inspection, which was rolled out early this week, will cover boarding primary and junior schools, while the second phase of the inspection will cover secondary schools. To ensure safety of learners in dormitories, the Safety Standards Manual for Schools in Kenya provides that the space between the beds should be at least 1.2 meters, while the corridor or pathway space should not be less than 2 meters. Additionally, all doorways should be wide enough, at least 5 feet wide, and they should open outwards. They must not at any time be locked from outside when learners are inside. Each dormitory should have a door at each end and an additional emergency exit at the middle, clearly labeled as emergency exit. The manual further stipulates that dormitory windows must be without grills and should be easy to open outwards. Fire extinguishing equipment should be functioning and placed at each exit, with fire alarms fitted at easily accessible points. Regular spot checks by teachers and the administration should be undertaken before learners retire to bed. In line with this, security patrols should be done regularly by the school security personnel or any other authorized security personnel.
The National Assembly Water and Blue Economy Committee have warned Water Cabinet Secretary Eric Muga to put his ministry in order and coordinate the agencies to enhance service delivery. The MPs sent away the CS Muga and Water PS Julius Korir after they were unable to explain the ministry's report on the implementation of the budget for the last financial year, a report the MPs termed erroneous and misleading. The legislators are also concerned that the ministry has been spending outside the budget allocated by Parliament.
Honorable Chair, I think the problem began at the beginning of this administration, and we know where the problem began. And even the principal secretary, this is an inherited problem. And I think it is time, Mr. Korir, that you and your the sagas sit down properly and audit what is happening in this ministry. But otherwise, this ministry, Honorable Chair, it might turn out to be, we've been talking about Mafia House. People have been calling it Mafia House, but this one here is going to be a lot of drowning moving forward.
The project is not complete, but the CEO is saying that they spent 37.5 million to do last mile connectivity. From where? But PS, you are giving us very good details, but these people are going to bring you down. They are lying to us. They are stealing that money. They have eaten that money. That is what it is.
But again, here we are. We budgeted 25 million, 2022, 2023. 2023, 2024, we gave about another 65 million. That is totaling to, is it 90 million? 90 million. Now here is your officer is telling us that money they have received about 37 is not talking even about the 25. And he's saying that money he has used it to do a last mile connectivity of a project which that is not complete, which is not there.
It was a learning experience because I've never sat in a parliamentary committee before. And this exposes the underbelly of issues that Kenyans are saying no to. I will not apologize for them, and I will not make excuses. It means someone somewhere is not doing their job. If within my fellow engineers, within 10 minutes, can expose so many mistakes, and this took less than I was watching an hour, it means we have a problem.
The bulletin, I'll be back with business and sports.
There's faith in my world. It comes back to your teachings and all your words.
Swala ni jambo ambalo limesisitiziwa kwa sababu Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam aliwahi kusema kuwa amefaidika yule ambaye atatekeleza swala yake hali ya kuwa ana khushu'.
Aswa usarkata alladhi yasriku fi salati, yule muizi ambaye kwamba ni mbaya kushinda wote ni yule ambaye kwamba anaiba katika swala yake. Mtume alipoyasema yale, maswahaba wakashangaa, wakamuuliza wa kaifa yasriku fi salati, vipi mtu anaweza kuiba katika swala yake? Akasema alladhi la yutimu ruku'aha wala sujuda.
Akolo beshimali wala kwa mkono wa kushoto.
Yes, I swear by Allah, I swear.
Siku zinasonga sambamba na matukio yanavyojiri.
Kuyajua hayo, mbali na hamasa zilizopo kwengineko, shirika la utangazaji KBC limejitolea kuhakikisha ubora wa matangazo yasiyo na chuku.
Darubini huangazia mengi ya kusini na kaskazini, mashariki na magharibi, na kukuwasilishia kwa njia stahiki.
Ufasaha, usawa, uketo, pasipo kuegemea upande wowote.
Iwapo hutakishaka kwa unachoarifiwa, Darubini itakidhi mahitaji yako. Jina langu ni Nancy Onyancha.
Na mimi ni Harith Salim.
Jina langu ni Gladys Mungai.
Mimi ni Ahmed Jumabalo.
Nami ni Sarafina Robi.
KBC, angazo la Wakenya.
Hello, fabulous ladies. Welcome to the talk show that's all about sisterhood, empowerment, and unfiltered conversation. We will be focusing on women. We believe in women.
We are really changing.
We are creating a safe space for women to connect, thrive, and share.
Just because you're a woman on a bike, you're labeled in a certain way.
It's not just a talk show, it's a movement.
When they are standing, we need to stand out.
From heartwarming tales to hilarious adventures.
They could ask me, Catherine, why are you learning?
We are turning the spotlight on women who are breaking barriers in their individual fields.
You have to have a vision. You are the leaders of Kenya today.
Keeping it honest and relatable.
Mental health is real.
Yes.
Where there is no communication, there is no relationship.
Join the Sisterhood every Sunday at 4 p.m. on KBC TV for Dada's Show.
Thank you for staying with us. A look at business now, where Kenyans borrowed more than they saved in Saccos in 2023. The latest Sacco Supervision Annual Report by SASRA indicates gross loans increased by 11.5% to 758.6 billion shillings in 2023, while domestic savings and deposits total 682.2 billion shillings. Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya is advocating for the merging of smaller Saccos to address liquidity challenges.
758.57 billion shillings from Saccos in 2023, accounting for 78.05% of the total Saccos assets.
We are noting what you might say a declining growth in Saccos. From upwards of 12-13%, we are finding ourselves in 9.9%. So the declining growth due to the reality in our economy.
Non-performing loans slightly increased to 8.45% from 8.34% in 2022, mainly powered by non-remitted funds from county governments, public universities and state corporations.
That these institutions are unfunded, so they have liquidity problems. County government, me having been a governor, sometimes there are delayed disbursements from the national government, and that's what has affected this.
When employers close, it means those our members, Saccos, have lost, loans are likely not to be paid. We are dealing, and some of them, I'm sure they'll find their way.
The report highlights a significant concentration of assets and deposits among a few regulated Saccos, with 53 Saccos controlling 73.34% of the total assets. This concentration raises concerns about the future of smaller Saccos, particularly those with assets below 1 billion shillings.
We don't want to be policemen, standing behind cooperative officials, do this, do that. But if you make a good decision, you have decided to merge, we will encourage you.
Oparanya says the operationalization of the Deposit Guarantee Fund for Saccos and the Cooperatives Bill 2024 will boost the stability and provide a much-needed safety net for depositors.
This bill has come up with a mechanism that will make sure that there is proper interaction between the national government and the county government, and also strengthen the supervisory role of SASRA.
Of course, we have the BB, the cooperative law, and the amendment we want to do the SASRA Act to answer the things people talk about.
In 2023, SASRA revoked the licenses of 2 deposit-taking Saccos, reducing the total number of regulated Saccos to 176.
Well, that story was filed by Nimo Njenga. Now, Kenyans and small business owners should embrace vehicle leasing as a way of owning costly assets like new vehicles whose upfront costs are high. This is according to Luxair Managing Director Jennifer Kinyoe, who says taxation has made new vehicles out of reach for most Kenyans, but leasing could offer an option.
Businesses across various sectors are now adopting leasing, and they are recognizing the benefits of leasing, especially in terms of cost savings, risk mitigation, and operational efficiency. The government of Kenya as well has done a commendable job to adopt leasing model in most of the government ministries.
It's very competitive rates and also very competitive terms. So for a business, you're fully protected. It's like a all-round umbrella.
In terms of the evolution of the industry as a whole, in terms of learning from previous mistakes, I think that has quite improved on the police lease that you have said. I think recently we've seen a lot of improvement on that as well.
Another thing that we're also able to do, especially with the corporates, is to give the first right of refusal. As in, at the end of the lease period, the first preference, as in the first right of purchase, is given to the user.
A look at sports, where the Kenya women's 3x3 basketball team began their quest at the ongoing FIBA Under-23 World Cup on a losing note against Poland and Mongolia, who beat them in their opening Group C matches played on Wednesday in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Kenya lost to Poland 21-4 in the first match, with Emily Bosibori scoring a total of 3 points, while Barbara Achieng contributed 1 point. Julia Bazan emerged as Poland's top points scorer with a total of 8 baskets, while Claudia Norwoski and Marta Stawika registered 5 and 6 points respectively. Kenya lost to the second match 21-5 to host Mongolia and will be seeking to bounce back in the remaining fixtures against Israel and Germany scheduled for Friday. Meanwhile, the Kenyan men's team will open their campaign against Latvia on Thursday before taking on Lithuania, USA and Germany in Group D.
The ball did not get cleared. Nice backdoor pass. The cut and the patience. Kenya on the board. Aryu Tsetsek did not.
Now, the national men's and women's beach volleyball team finally managed to jet out of the country in the afternoon for the CAVB and FIVB International Beach Tour in Burundi after being stranded at the airport from morning following the airport workers' strike at the JKIA. Now, the Kenyan team was scheduled to jet out to Bujumbura at 7 a.m. in the morning, but were forced to reschedule their flight following the strike, which caught many travelers unawares. However, some 2 players had left in advance and were able to attend the opening ceremony in Bujumbura, namely Gaudensia Makoha and Abigail Chebet, who will be joined by Mercy Iminza and Shalene Simbel, who were in the second batch. The tour, which will run till Friday, will also see the Kenyan men's national team in action, namely Jairus Kipkosgei, Elfas Makuto, Brian Melly and Wilson Cheriot. The coaches are Patrick Oweno and Sami Molinge, while Praxidis Agala is the head of delegation. Meanwhile, the Kenya Volleyball Federation got a sponsorship boost of 300,000 Kenya shillings from Roto Mentholatum Limited ahead of the next leg of the beach volleyball tour, which will be hosted in Mombasa from the 21st to the 22nd of this month. Well, that is where we end the bulletin this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Good Morning Kenya still continues. DJ Unique is on standby together with my colleague Vivian Degwa to take you through the rest of the program. But until next week, it's goodbye for now.
mnataka mna nini? Now that uliniachia mkidi, nilijua gaweni mdigidhi, basi kudhani itaikuwa hivi. Kono stingy AJ kwa mimi na Josh pendangi vipindi. Kwa kikao ni vitimbi na uliko kitu au witiki. In the beginning God created Eve to deceive me. Companion sipingi na kani biz ni dingly. Baby yako si mimi na ujieke hizo risiti. Streets zina nikolingi na nikanta ongeza wapili. Squeezy na nyonga neki ya whisky. Uski na chapa ndo mnaishiki yo. Na come home sipiki. Of course just dishi. Zamani ulikuwa mklingi, saini ningi mingi. Silly yo.
Mapenzi dwaro respect, mapenzi dwaro assurance, mapenzi dwaro endurance.
For real man, for real.
Yeah. Give my
vijana barubaru na wewe. Ya dada. Listen. Zena nyumba ya mabati, tuchome dondo chapati, omba nguo za kuenda party, yeah. Usimaindi, mina wetu pange mikakati, vita ni kupoteza wakati, naomba tupatane katikati, yeah. Usimaindi, tutabae nywele ya farasi ma, nguo utadunga ni Versace ma, nitabae gari utadrive bima. You not deserve. There's nothing better than this love. So how to like a let's leave up. My forever by default. No way, no way, no way. Get it to go no way, no way, no way. Back in a mimi, back in a mimi. No way.
Kama ni mapenzi ushanipenda, basi mimi nitake nini tena? Mimi nikiwa chini huku nilenga, tunapanda juu na nijenga. Cheki vile mbali tunaenda, straight good loving agenda. Umenifunga pingu na surrender, nilalishe ndani bima jaila. Hela, sikidela, mfuko itoboke kuwa tailor. Hapana choma picha choma vela, give me real love bila error. There's nothing better than this love. So how to like a let's live up. My forever by default. No way, no way, no way. Get it to happen, no way, no way, no way.
Room is starting at Jabu.
Sitofita kama kukupenda ni makosa, sitaki kuwa sawa duniani, kwani nakupenda sio siri. Wengi wakiyaona kwa macho, machozi yatoka kila siku. Sitochoka mimi kukupenda, watakaosema na waseme. Wengi wakiyaona kwa macho, machozi yatoka kila siku. Sitochoka mimi kukupenda, watakaosema na waseme.
Kama kitambo tulikosa kama shona ngoma zetu ziligo amenibeba kila mara mimi nina fly baraka zake na mafavors zina multiply amenibeba kila mara mimi nina fly baraka zake na mafavors zina multiply ameniweka niko juu kama ameniweka niko juu kama acha nifanya superstar kama ameniweka niko juu kama superstar kama zile. Sasa nimepozi yote yaliyope kupitia maombi, labda amenifuta machozi na pigi kama Mandela. Na my enemies watakuwa mastoryteller. Fanya mashali imebadilika badilika, inuka bodas tunazivuka zunguka getas wanashituka aibika jina lake zifika tukuka ameniweka niko juu kama sele, niko juu kama sele, ameniweka niko juu kama sele, asanifanya superstar kama sele, ameniweka niko juu kama sele, juu kama sele, ameniweka niko juu kama sele, asanifanya superstar kama sele.
Kwa Yesu mimi nipo bila tatizo, bila misukosuko, ukini na kule natafuta maokoto, nazingatia yani kule na pambana.
Steve unatuchanganya sema ukweli ama tena danganya, we uko kwa giza ama uko kwa mwanga, kuza giza na nuru zizipatana.
Mungu ni wetu sote, alitumwa mwanawe atufie msalabani. Mimi nawapa mapenzi zile malavidavi, na wa inspire na nyimbo za Solomoni. Kwa Yesu mimi nipo. Utanielewa tu. Kwa Yesu mimi nipo.
Mimi story nimeipata, usije mbinguni na wewe ukaihata. Nyayo za Mungu unazifuata, akongoza kulinde niye ngaifa. Upate dunia, ukose falme wa Mungu. Pesa ujaze gunia, umkufuru Mungu.
Mimi mtoto wa dadi, sina kasoro, ananipenda, ananilinda, ananilisha, ananinywesha, ananipenda na hana ubaguzi. Mimi niko naye hadi mwisho, kwake natulia, nasema nisha, ananinywesha, akaningarisha, hero kamano, atinye malo.
Welcome. This is Good Morning Kenya, and right now we get into our first interview of the show, and with me is Pastor Henry Chakamba, and Pastor Henry Chakamba is a Zambian who resides in the US and is a pastor at the Living Faith Church USA. Pastor Chakamba, welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much, Vivian.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Kenya is a wonderful place. Nairobi, to be specific, a beautiful place, a beautiful city to be in.
Is this your first time here?
It is my first time in Nairobi, but I've been through the airport. Never went outside the airport, but this is my first time in Nairobi.
How are you liking it so far?
Nairobi is beautiful.
Yeah.
The weather is neither hot or cold, so it's good for me.
Yeah. All right, that's great to know. Yeah. So you're here, and our topic of conversation today is on evangelism, because that is what you're doing here today. If you can just talk what evangelism is.
Okay. Look in this camera.
Just look at
me. Look at you. All right.
Let's converse.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. So evangelism is at the core of Christianity. So in Mark chapter 16, I'm not preaching, I'm just talking about evangelism. In Mark chapter 16, after Jesus had died and rose again, he spent a number of days with his disciples. And what he gave them is what is known as the Great Commission. The Great Commission was, or is, go into the world and make disciples of many. So evangelism is a command that Jesus gave to his disciples. It's a command that Jesus gave to every Christian. It's not for the pastors, prophets, bishops. It's for every Christian. Evangelism is simply inviting people to Christ, winning souls to Christ, not to a religion, but to a lifestyle, to a relationship. Unfortunately, the church seems to have taken, when I say the church, I mean globally, the body of Christ seems to have taken a different turn. We have people focusing on building a denomination, a congregation, instead of focusing on the kingdom of God. So you see different pastors, different denominations fighting one another because they don't understand, or we've lost the importance of that evangelism, which cuts across denomination and all sorts of things.
Yeah. So as you've mentioned, every Christian has a responsibility to evangelize. It's not for specific people. As long as you're a Christian, that's a responsibility that you have to evangelize.
Yes.
Yeah. How does that look like?
So, so every person has a responsibility to evangelize. How does that look like? It starts from home. It doesn't start from a stadium. Most people think evangelism, crusade.
Yeah.
No, it starts with your peers. You don't have to step outside. Jesus actually says, start in the city where you're in. Before you even talk about your city, you start in your home. You start within your circle. You begin to speak to your peers around you about Jesus. You don't have to speak to 1,000 people or to 100 people. You speak to the person next to you about Jesus. That's where it starts from. And before you realize it, you would have impacted your circle. And it's a chain reaction. As you impact the next person, your best friend, your young sister, your young brother, your aunt, your uncle, you begin to preach Jesus to them. You are winning souls in the kingdom of God. You're doing evangelism. In fact, that's probably the most effective kind of evangelism, where you target one person at a time. You don't go for multitudes first. You start where you are with what you have. Yes, that's that's a grassroots of evangelism.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that. You're just starting with the people that are very close to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just a word about that. So I did not grow up in the USA. I grew up in Zambia. I'm originally Zambian. So I went to boarding school. I got born again in 8th grade through Scripture Union. I don't know if you have Scripture Union in Kenya. So as soon as I got born again, we had a privilege to start evangelizing in the dormitories where we slept, and would go from one dorm to the other, and I was led to Christ by another student in high school. So that's and here I am. I've started churches in America. I'm traveling across the globe just because somebody a few years older than me, 12th grade, and I'm in 8th grade, evangelized to me. And the seed that they sown, it's now impacting thousands of people. So you just don't know what the seed of evangelism to somebody next to you will yield, the fruit that it will yield. So it's very important to take it easy, to not think of evangelism as a large-scale thing all the time. Well, good for those that are called to do it on a large scale, but you don't have to wait to do it on a large scale. Sorry, I'm talking too much.
It's all right. You mentioned in Zambia you had the Scripture Union. Yes, we do have the same in Kenya and in the Kenyan schools, but we call it Christian Union. It's
Christian
CU.
Union.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So there's something that I think people kind of debate about sometimes. That's on spirituality and being religious. You'll find someone, they'll say, yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm not religious. I'm just spiritual. So sometimes they kind of butt heads. So would you like to try and just explain to us the difference between these two? When someone says I'm spiritual and another says I'm religious.
I'd love to respond to that for sure. I'll give myself as an example. I'm not full of myself, but practical realities. So I mentioned that I got born again, saved, came to Christ when I was in 8th grade. But before that, I used to go to church. Every Sunday, my father made sure we went to church. By the way, he was a very religious man, but not spiritual at that point. Thank God now he's spiritual. So he would be drinking the whole weekend and maybe get home 3 a.m., but he would make sure we were dressed in suits to go to church, and he was a leader. So that's an example of a religious person. But a spiritual person is one that is not observing the rituals, the traditions of Christianity. Okay, one that is observing the rituals and traditions and customs of Christianity is simply a religious person. And Jesus says, because of your traditions, you have made the word of God of none effect. A spiritual person is one that is living the realities of Christianity, not just the tradition, not just the customs. It's one whose lifestyle is able to portray the life of Christ to others. It's practical. So being religious and being spiritual is different in that being religious is not practical. It's just following rites and customs and traditions, and you go back. It's just like you're acting, you're playing it. But being spiritual is a lifestyle. And true Christianity, I tell people, true Christianity is not religious. It's not a religion, it's a lifestyle of Christ. Who is a Christian? A follower of Christ. You do the things that Jesus Christ did, the works that he did. You know, Jesus says, those who believe in me, the works that I do, they will do. But he went further on and he said, even greater works than these shall they do. So one who is religious will not do the works of Christ. They will keep tradition. But one that is spiritual will do the works of Christ and even greater works. They will change their community, they will change their city, they will change their nation, and ultimately they will change the world. Thank you.
Thank you for defining those two for us and making us understand the difference between them. Now, when it comes to evangelism and everything else, I mean, there are always the challenges that come with it. Probably can you share some challenges that come with being an evangelist or doing evangelism?
Well, first of all, evangelism is a lot of spiritual warfare, because Satan, the devil, hates evangelism, right? The devil does not like evangelism. And so when you're an evangelist, you face a lot of opposition, persecutions, because the devil does not like evangelism. You know why he doesn't like evangelism? Because evangelism directly depopulates hell and populates heaven. So you find that evangelists go through persecutions. But the number one challenge of evangelism is the persecution that you go through. You know, there is persecution, you are mistreated, you are persecuted, but Jesus says you will go through those things, but take heart, I've overcome the world. So the number one is persecution. Secondly, when you begin to do it on a larger scale, before we even talk about financial resources, the second challenging thing about evangelism is finding the right people to do it with. Because a lot of people are looking at church as a business. So I won't mention there are certain countries I've gone to where was taken advantage of. I was trying to do a meeting in this nation, and the people looked at it as an opportunity to just get money. So you to benefit from it. It's like people look at church as a business. Some people take it as a business. So the second challenge of evangelism is obstacle to evangelism is just finding people with the right heart to partner with you, because you can't do it by yourself. You know, even when Jesus was sending out the disciples, he sent them by two. And the Bible also says one can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000. So the second challenge is just finding people who have the right heart, because people might have a big crusade, but all they're doing is, their focus is not even the source, but it's money. So finding the right, and then the second one, obviously, resources. I can go on and on, but those are the major obstacles I would say you find in evangelism.
All right. So kindly tell us why you're in the country.
Okay, so I am in this beautiful country of Kenya, in the city of Nairobi, the beginning of many cities that we'll get to do an evangelistic meeting. And the church is called Redeemed Christian Fellowship, I believe. It's in... Redeemed Evangelistic Fellowship within Nairobi. So I'm here basically to have a Holy Ghost revival. It's for believers. It's for people who just need their Christian walk revived. And it's also for those that have not yet come to Christ to have an opportunity to give their lives to Christ. So we're having a 3-day revival. We started yesterday, and this afternoon I'll be speaking, and later on tonight from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 I'll be speaking, and I'll be speaking on Friday as well. And as soon as I'm done, I'm jumping on a plane. I'll be attending my service in Ohio in the USA on Sunday. So I'm here for 3 days, but it's the beginning of many. We're here to do some wonderful evangelistic work. Wonderful things are happening. This might sound controversial, but people are getting healed. We believe in divine healing. That's Christianity as a lifestyle. There is divine healing. There is just emotional healing. There is all sorts of wonderful things happening. So everybody's welcome. In fact, I'm inviting you to come there if you can. Just once.
Thank you.
For a day. Thank you.
What are you hoping to have achieved after, those 3 days?
Number one, I am trusting God to, first of all, have see the pastors, because there's a good number of pastors, bishops, and evangelists attending the meeting. I am hoping to see them on fire and to have renewed interest in evangelism like never before, and just to see them encouraged. It's because a lot of preachers are discouraged. It's not easy to do the work of God. So I'm hoping to see a lot of preachers encouraged, their fire reignited. And secondly, I'm hoping to see more souls be added to Christ, whether it's 5 or 100 or 1,000, but more souls added to Christ. And also we are hoping to see the Lord release healing over Kenya, because spiritually there's something that the nation of Kenya is going through. And from this meeting, we are going to see, not hoping, we're believing that there will be some spiritual healing that will take place, not just in individual lives, but in the nation of Kenya. So that's those are some of the things I am believing God that will happen from this revival, and I believe they're already happening.
All right.
Thank
As
you.
we wind up with the conversation, there's something you mentioned, and I want us to get back to it and touch on it a bit. You said some people look at the church as a business, and I don't want to speak for anyone, but most people right now, especially young people, and I speak for the some of the young people in this country, they feel the same. Most of them feel like, churches nowadays are just, it's business. So some of them don't even go to church, not because they don't believe in God, not because they're not spiritual, but simply for the fact that, well, nowadays I don't know which church is real, which church is misrepresented, which church is just doing business with us. So how are you as pastors trying to work against that, or try to just ensure that people still look at the church like it is supposed to be, and we don't get to a situation where we'll just be having the buildings and no one inside? I'm sure there are places in Europe where there are buildings, yes, really nice churches, but no people inside. And, it could be where we are headed to if we look at how things are at the moment.
And so looking at church as a business, I would even say that it did not necessarily originate here. It's been it's something that has been prompted, or was prompted, by the Western church, the American church, so to say, which did so well in the past. But you will see all these programs, it's about raising money. And so when we go to evangelize, one of the biggest obstacles we face even in America is when you walk up to people. I was having a revival in London.
I'll have to cut you short a bit. Let's take a break and then we'll be back.
All right. Thank you.
Introduced with good intentions, but turned out otherwise.
Hii mbegu ilikuwa tunafurahia kabisa tukiona kwa sababu hapa ilikuwa ni jangwa.
The invasive species that has turned into the proverbial poison apple.
It indicates that actually there were no studies that have been done to show that it will later be problematic.
Join Sarafina Robi this Sunday as she unravels the dangers of this plant that has had even livestock move to court to seek justice. Dengue, the poison apple.
Will you focus, you cabbage face? This kind of speech is for those who use their brains. You, on the other hand, could use water and soap.
Guys! Julia and Vala, I've eaten all the food. Now we are going to die in the jungle.
Will you keep your voice down?
You know, I had no plan of going out like this, just so you know. And Julia, just know you're the worst planner in the history of planning.
What is your problem, eh? Why can't you just enjoy the trip like the rest of us? We might have taken the wrong van. Whose van is this?
I'm feeling the music in the air.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, if we can just wind up on this conversation, you were winding up just explaining to us what you're trying to do now to ensure that people don't lose hope in Christianity.
Okay, so that I was explaining one time we're about to have a revival in London, and you know, somebody made a comment on our ad saying, well, good luck, I hope you make a lot of money from the meeting. In that young person, and it was a young person, in their mind it was a beautiful ad, but we're just inviting people. In our mind we were doing it to go make money, but there was no money to be made you know, from that. So what are we doing? So the truth is Christianity has been misrepresented by certain people. You find people selling anointing oil, for example, different types of anointing oil, different kinds. Oh, this month is a new release. God is not in that. So as part of sorting out that problem, as we get people to come to Christ, win them to Christ, we are teaching the people to study the Bible for themselves, because the most challenging thing in Christianity is that people don't really read. They would rather get a vision or a revelation from a prophet. I'm not speaking against prophets. Say, well, the prophet said I should do this, but the prophet has a vision that is not in line with Scripture. So if we encourage people to read the Scripture for themselves, they will not fall for the schemes and all kind of scams that some of them are good pastors and preachers. They started out well, but they've fallen into the trap of monetizing the, you know, Christianity, like I was saying during the break, to say Jesus Christ enters the temple and he begins to overturn the tables and he whips them out. He tells them, say, my house is supposed to be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you've turned into a den of thieves. So this is like the church today.
Okay.
In summary, about that's what I would say. So to emphasize the point, just teaching people to read the Bible for themselves so that some of the behaviors, some of the things that they're told, give $1,000 for healing to happen, where is it written? You know, just empowering people to be in the Word. There are genuine churches out there teaching the Word.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to Good Morning Kenya, and all the best on the work you've come to do in Kenya.
Thank you so much, Vivian, for hosting me on this program, and thank you to all the staff of Kenya National Broadcasting.
Yeah, Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless.
All right, this is where we end this particular conversation. Don't you go too far. Remember, today is Entertainment Thursday, and we will be getting into the entertainment in a moment.
Anytime I come here, give them fire. All of my guys, me, I link them higher. And I'm still that fire. Yeah, say chulo, no they tire. Anytime I come here, give them fire. All of my guys, me, I link them higher. And I'm still that fire. I don't get anybody to help me, so I must win. Right. For my life, every day, my dream is just to win. Yeah. Me, I don't have anyone to support me, so I must win. Now me be the vibe I can live. Nobody really knows tomorrow. Kongwa, 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 sa. Akina di days we dance kongwa, sa. Kongwa, 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 sa. These days everything done macadilla. All of my guys them too rala. Tata, oh rala. Say people we start to see them no more.
Matata to fall. Wana wa mai wa mira wai. Oh, wa mira wai. Sweetie kangari wa miuhapo. Enumbu yo, enumbu. Sweetie wa mai asimisha mumoyo. Ise sumba kwe kamani. Sumba kwe kamani. Ise ya sumba kwe kamani. Oh, sumba kwe kamani. Alinende sura enda hii. Ditiri marezi mishayaya. Alinende kiminwa kimira hii. Mititi kiri marake manya kukisa. Alinende sura enda hii. Ditiri maraya.
Sean on the beat.
Tumbadi ya ngalimayi wangu na simonoli ya chichi. Notelu chikameti kuronda ho chichi. Mai eso mtelwa ne hunde hamai nene nanu ne hunde wa
yetu sawa kenira omwana libondo omwana maritati omwana hakafunda omwana hakutasa nutila kumwiba peremende onuna wihomba wamyuhanga lipopai shimoni panda sivune nyungu muke musikombe homba ulinyanga niwe kulikipa musiwanja nyamupa kumuvenga Sijaona mrembo kama wewe usisemi uongo. Ona mrembo kama wewe usisemi uongo. Kila imishi charo sama mtu wa chumbani. Wendo unanirusha roho viwanja vyote mbalimbali. Mara nasikia joto kama maruani tete. Nilisha uonja moshi acha uenjoy moto. She give me ginger fantastic. Oh my way wanjira. Baby, you are body, my dad. Oh my way, oh hand over. Nutila kumwiba peremende, onuna wihomba. Wamyuhanga lipopai, shimoni panda. Sivune nyungu, muke musikombe, homba ulinyanga. Niwe kulikipa, musiwanja, nyamupa kumuvenga.
Entertainment Thursday it is right here on Good Morning Kenya. My name is Vivian Degwa and joining us on the show is one Matata 24. He is a Kenyan artist who majorly does his music in the dialect of Luya. What's up?
I'm good.
Uko fiti?
Best.
Nakwambia ungetokea tu kama mtu hajasikia ngoma zako angefikiria utafanya ngoma ya Kiluya.
Kwani?
True or false?
Nakaa bongo.
Unataka kuimba love songs za Kiswahili. Yeah.
No, I'm proud of Luya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing. Kindly introduce yourself to the people that are seeing you for the first time today.
I'm Matata 24, aka Mwana Mrenga. Hallelujah. From Western Kenya, Bungoma. Yeah.
How long have you been doing music?
Right now is 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thank God I'm vibing all over the world. Yeah.
So you started off with doing your songs in Luya from the beginning?
Yeah, from the beginning.
Yeah. What made you decide to do that?
Because I really love Luya, and my dream ilikuwa nataka nione Luya nation to go all over, like Zimbabwe people wanakuja kutukonga huku. That's why nikasema acha nifanye mambo tuone. Yeah.
Na umefeel watu wamekuwa wakiaccept aje your songs?
Watu wako poa, hata kama mtu asikii Kiluya na vibe. Unajua hit song ni vibe. So I thank God all the time I do the songs, nafanya nyimbo kali. Yeah. Na watu wanapenda. And watu wananipenda pia. Unajua mtu akipenda muziki pia anapenda msanii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love confidence ambayo uko nayo, you keep saying watu wanakupenda, watu wanapenda muziki, which is something that naweza sema msanii anafaa kuwa nayo. Unajiaminia, manake ukijiamini we mwenyewe, pia watu wanakuwa na confidence in you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kujiamini unafeli. unarudi nyumbani bro.
Usipojiamini wewe unasema unafeli, unarudi zako nyumbani.
Unarudi ushago. So ni kujituma na consistency.
So nyimbo zako huwa zinakuwa inspired na nini?
Most of the time nafanya love song, alafu culture yetu ya Luya. But si ati naangaliaga kitu fulani ndo niimbe. Ni vibe tu.
Ukiwa unaandika writing process yako huwa inakaa vipi?
Siandikangi.
Wewe uandiki? So what do you do?
Mimi huenda na mood na vibe. Like nikifika studio, kama ni time ya studio nikiwa na mic ni kuimba, siandikangi mimi.
So hakuna ngoma yako hata moja ambayo umeketi chini ukascribble something ukaandika kitu?
Hakuna.
Unaingia tu unaambia producer nipe,
ama nikiandika sitaimba or else niandikie mtu.
Kuna sababu ya hiyo?
Nimezoea hivyo. Unajua ukiwa msanii, acha nikwambie kitu moja, inafaa kuwa all the time ready, because unaweza patana msanii mkubwa kwa studio, unataka kufanya kazi naye, utasema acha niende niandike alafu nirudi. Inafaa kuwa sharp. So kuna talent. Hiyo ni kazi yako, inafaa kuwa sharp. Sasa nilijifunza from the start mpaka sasa hivi penye niko hivi. All my songs sijaandika.
So you're always ready?
I'm always ready. Sasa ukiniweka hapo mic na rekodi kama niko vibe.
Unique, what do you think about that?
It's a good thing, by the way. Hiyo inakupatanga you're always ready. Venye amesema hiyo idea amesema unaweza patana na unajua most of these big artists wakwangi na time ya kungoja msee. Kama akikupata hapo unaambia unataka tufanye collab nayo. So ikikupata kama inapatanga tu msee kama uko ready, kama uko ready una vibe tu nayo. Tambo wende ukae chini uanze kuandika, this guy ashapata shughuli nyingine ameenda. So hiyo imekupita. So lazima tu, it's a good thing.
So when you were starting from the start, you knew this is the kind of artist ambaye wewe unataka kuwa. Artist ambaye si lazima niketi chini niandike kitu. I just go to the studio and I vibe and I check out a song. Yeah. And that has been working well for you?
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Kuna nyimbo ambayo umefanya na B Classic. It's actually the newest song, right? It's about less than 2 weeks old. Tell me about the song.
The song is all about love. Celebrating a beautiful girl. Celebrate mapenzi tu. And the song is doing actually well. That's all.
Ebu mention, pronounce your jina ya ngoma, you pronounce
Tahewewe. Means kama sio wewe mimi ningekuwa wapi.
Tahewewe. It's Luya still?
It's Luya. Ungalimai wangona sibunolia chichi eno cheru chikamechi hulenda ho chichi mai eso mutelwa. Yanaambia msichana wewe umependeza sana, ukiniacha jamani mimi nitakuwa ne umebeba kiuno kama nyigu. Unajua nyigu? Piskali na hivyo.
So it's a song that you're singing to this particular girl. Ni msichana specific unaimbia ama ni general tu? Is it out of a true story?
Not a true story. Just like you unaweza tumia nyimbo. In case B Classic, sijaona mrembo kama wewe, sisemi uongo. It's just one girl. Kusifia tu mwanamke. Everyone can vibe on it. Ni nyimbo ya kila mtu.
Why particularly B Classic for the song?
B Classic.
Kwa nini yeye particularly for this particular song?
Kuna nyimbo as msanii, kuna nyimbo naweza fanya nisema hii nyimbo inafaa masauti, nyimbo inafaa Otile Brown ama B Classic. So niliona hiyo nyimbo inamfahamu yeye. And I was right because the guy vibe. Ni msanii ule pia akiingia studio hivyo kama ko vibe kinaenda. And he's a legend, he's a very talented guy.
He's very talented, I agree. So mliingia studio nyinyi nyote, hakuna mtu ambaye ameandika mkakaa kwenye microphone and you guys just vibed? And the song came to be. Alright, for those who would love to watch the song, wataipata wapi?
Wataipata YouTube. Iko YouTube at Matata 24. And kama pia ni msanii na una like record nini, tuko na studio. inaitwa Shams Media, iko pale Ngara. Tunafanya broadcast, everything, video shooting. Tuko na studio kali sana. Full equipment, quality things. Yeah.
So unaita wasanii wenzako wale ambao wangetaka
wasanii wakuja wa rekodi.
Yeah.
Alafu pia ukiwa msanii pia kujituma. Alafu discipline na kuamini Mwenyezi Mungu. Bila Mwenyezi Mungu industry unakufa na depression because unaweza sukuma vitu aziendi. Nasema nimerogwa nini?
Kumbe wapi?
Wewe mwenyewe umejibania Yeah.
Na kwa umejiroga mwenyewe.
Umejiroga mwenyewe. But I really appreciate for my fans, they really love me. I'm doing well. Unajua si rahisi unapita kwa street unaona watu wana kucelebrate. Unapatana watu kama 20 wanakuomba selfie, you're doing good. Mtu ameweka nyumba yako kama ringtone, yeah. Amekuweka wallpaper, is not easy. Yeah. It was just like a dream I used to do with this fellow artists. Nachukua msanii mwenye napenda kama Jason Derulo. Natamani kuwe kama umse. But you see na like your level. Yeah. Very soon I'm doing a collab with Diamond Platnumz.
Oh really?
Yeah,
is it something ambayo mmeshaongelelea tayari ama it's something wewe mwenyewe yani you aspire to do na iangalia kwa mbali?
Naiangalia. Na nitakuja ni launch hapa nyumba. Kubwa sana.
But then you know Diamond has not worked with Kenyan artists apart from Akothe. He's only done a collab with Akothe. He's never worked with a Kenyan artist.
Sure.
So itabidi
umejituma sana. Nitaimba Kiluya simbi Kiswahili.
Yeah.
Because my dream ni nataka kuona Luya to the world everywhere. Yeah. Hata kama mtu anasikia vibe anasema what the fuck, this is a hit song Yeah, mtu ana vibe, mzungu ana dance, everyone. That's my dream.
So are you timu yako tayari imeanza kujaribu kumtafuta Diamond ama?
Timu yangu iko okay. First niko na collab mingi sana zenye hata sija release, so timu yangu iko tu ready, nimekutia tu na hati kidogo.
Alright, tunaomba hiyo collab ipate kufanikiwa, upate kuifanikisha at least, you know, that would be a big one. So is there any other artist ambaye ungetaka kufanya kazi naye?
So hapa Kenya? Nataka nitoke nje kidogo. Kenya nimefanya na wasanii kadhaa. Sasa inaangalia Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Uganda nishafanya nao, nifanya na Titus Vibe. Nataka nifanye na Yomaps. Yomaps ndio tunawaka naye. I think unamjua. He's a big artist.
Yeah. I do.
So I think that will be itakuwa collab yangu September, November, December.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All the very best. Maneno yako ya mwisho kwa fans wako pata kuongelesha ukimaliza.
Mimi nawapenda sana. Bana vifo vyengo na basi marukali. Inoma no mrenga. Just keep supporting me. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Follow me everywhere. Na mniamini tena bali sana. Nawapenda.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Matata 24. Make sure you head over to his YouTube channel and support the boy. See you in a moment.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports,
drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Mse. We, washtakiwa?
Wewe utiaji itakumaliza wewe mzee. Na wewe hata chupi unaipa ya nini? Na wewe si msichana. Wewe ni mchinga ya wapi hata
Kwa nini hiyo miaka yote ikawa ni siku hiyo tu? umetuitania polisi.
Ninyi wote ni kama mlirokwa.
Wewe nyamaza.
Na mali si tulikuja tukakumwakia takataka.
Hapana.
Hapana, si ndio? Na usiniongeleshe na malingo kwa sababu hata mimi niko na malingo. Wewe ulikuwako tukienda kumwaka hizo takataka?
Si ndio?
Ulikuwa tukienda kumwaka?
Mimi alikuwa hiyo ndio
aliwashika. Wewe maacha kuongea ukweli.
Ngoja.
Unafutanga bangi?
Tumii bangi. Sasa ni swali gani hilo?
Maana anaongea vitu za ujinga, yani mtu mzima.
Wewe ukimwangalia huyu anavuta bangi.
Kasichana, tena na mangais. By the way, usifanye mwanaume afanye uli hivi. I know you love him, Jane. Mimi sina kazi na yeye. Lakini Jane, hebu nikuulize. Hapana. Huyo dem ako na ball, ako na mtoto.
Mimi nafikia mmeko huko ndani mnaongea vitu za maana. Kumbe ni kuchochana mnachochana.
Au ndio wanaume wale wenyewe wanao? Wagani? Sasa nimekuget.
Hiyo unahonga na bidii sana. Yaani sasa asubuhi mapema mimi unashitari ushashika wheelbarrow.
Jackie wewe ndio utakuwa na bidii. Kila asubuhi namkia kwa wenyewe.
My name is Juma. Na Jackie ni bibi yangu.
What?
Bwana wako anajua unashindaga ukifanya nini kila siku.
Tunachino tena huyo.
Utazeeka ukiamkia tu nyumba za watu.
Nikisema I love you too, I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. I love you too, I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa. Oh, sijalitupa.
Tupangia njama, tutapambana, nitakuletea maua lakini sio sama. Niloesha mahaba nidekeze, staki masiara. Uhusiano utadumu zaidi ya kondoboi na kajala. I'm not confused, siwezi kufananisha na madem loose. Umeniteka roho yangu kama drug, umeniseduce. Kukupenda ingekuwa ngane, ningekupa zawadi ya mabawa. Nilileta taruki la mitani kipita sauti dawa. Mapenzi yamenilevya ile hali nimepagawa. Hadhi yangu kwako ni kama ile Adam na Hawa. Ndoa yetu imemarika kwa wazazi takubalika. Nijogoa mjini perfume kwetu kinukisha.
I love you too, I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. I love you too, I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa. Oh, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa.
Ukubado na flow na ukubado na kuchana. Pretty na kushow, believe in me more. I'll never let you go, no sin, leave me alone. Umeumbo kaumbika machokodo, ukipita mabitozo madatisha, si uongo sinyorita. Hiyo shape English figure imemfinika sidika. Ungekuwa celeb misifa ingememenika. Nyuma imeshona vichuchu mbele saa sita. Sura inaita sio siri mama sita. Sinzia nikikuwaza kurest kwangu sio simple. Come closer, let's get down to dance despacito.
I love you too, I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. I love you too, I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa.
Nimekam kuclaim title, hii ni suicidal, I'm in the cycle, niko gado. I'm the next rap idol na waacha hoi kama lenda ninafanya mambo rap tripla kama waamini muulize sango niko sao mita fulani kabla hujafika dando na pepeta mdundo ngumu kunipata kwa mapiano flow zao zimelose tenda ziko similar na Chimano Kanairo ilikuwa jua saini kali bila sky nasikia hakuna wakadi nalo usimwamini Zuchu maana sio kila penzi ni scar niko kwa mabara studio na mix tungo chemicali street hustling paka ile mida night kali na kuna hip hop kama vile wezi chemsha kachumbari hatari kama jashingo muulize kanibali sina chuki na gengeto na hata wenyewe wanajua chambua angalia sali kwambia kama na kitu shua
nawakilisha na mitano ya hip hop yeah tunasababisha kwa mitano ya hip hop
shafulia wamebaki na mikogo wamebaki na maskandal ukichwa nono zogo ili kuvuta tension onekane waje lost but true wameishiwa game kwa umegoka ghost kushindana na midal losing is mandatory wazi pato shinda anyway man I'm sorry nina mistari mikali plus na flow kali kasi yako kwangu kobe lazima nikuache mbali sio siri ni dairi mimi kiungo muhimu kiubaya ni tabiru pate adabu dhalimu rafa tafarapa tight kwa hizi hapa darasa la falsafa dunda kwangu talibata swadata sawa njili ujumbe na weneza kana kwamba na ubiri kwa kila verse nikitema lazima nitawagusa na kasma wake msisi zaidi ya kase medusa Albertino
nawakilisha
All right, and we have those artists in studio, that is Sauti Dawa and Albertino, and together they are known as Mapacha.
Yeah.
What's up?
We are good.
Mko fiti?
Mko fresh kabisa.
Mko fresh kabisa?
Yeah.
First of all, nyinyi ni Mapacha?
Yeah, we are brothers.
Twins?
Kind of. What do you say?
Kind of.
Unaonaje?
Twins kind of aje sasa?
Watu wanatuita mapacha tukitokea mahali hivi kila mtu anasema mnafanana sasa tukaamua tujiite mapacha tu.
Lakini nyinyi ni like mandugu.
Blood brothers.
Tumbo toka nitoke.
Yeah.
Ah, you're blood brothers, but not twins specifically, lakini brothers.
We're brothers, yes.
Ila watu wanawafananisha sana.
Yeah,
kwa hiyo nyinyi mkaamua mjipe hilo jina mapacha.
Mapacha, yani limetuvaa manake. Yeah.
Alright, nitaacha mujintroduce individually, beginning with you.
I'm Collins Malim. Second born, my brother is the third born. I'm from Mombasa. We are doing hip hop music.
All right.
Yeah.
What up? It's Albertino 254 hapa Mapacha representing.
Yeah. Mmetoka katika familia ya waimbaji ama nyinyi ndo waimbaji wa kwanza katika familia?
Sisi tunaweza sema sisi ndo waimbaji, kando na waimbaji pia si ni wasanii yani. I'm a fashion designer and I do music also, hip hop. Yeah.
Kwa hiyo nyinyi ndo wa kwanza kwanza fanya muziki katika familia yenu. Yeah. Hip hop kwa nini specifically?
Because where we are raised in, kule tumetoka, yale mazingira tumekaa na wale watu tumekaa nao, tumekuwa raised nao, wame inspire yani in one way or another. That's why tukaamua let's go with this rap
na hip hop. Yeah, mambo ya rap na hip hop. Albertino, wewe ni wasanii wa gani ambao unaweza sema walikuwa na kuinspire kule nyuma, you know, back then ukiwa ndo una grow up and all, ambao walifanya ukapenda rap?
Mombasa, first of all, kulikuwa na legendary group hiyo way back in the 90s, Rough Touch. Rough Touch ndio group ambayo ilitu inspire. Kulikuwa na individual walikuwa na imbaraga. Actually si marapa mimi walini inspire. Ni raga mafia artist mmoja anaitwa Rough Daddy. Huyo ndo alikuwa kama ma idol. Alikuwa anataka kuwa kama yeye. Even though sasa alishuka lakini anakuja pia. Kuna vitu anatayarisha. Soon tutakuwa pia naye hapa.
Kwa hivyo wewe ulikuwa inspired by a raga artist. Akafanya upende muziki ndo kama.
Lakini pia kando na hiyo tunatoka kwa house of hip hop ama vipi? Sana tumia rap kama element moja ya hip hop kupitisha ujumbe wangu kwa society.
Wewe inspired na nani?
We have that group amekwambia tu hapo, kulikuwa na watu raga na wa hip hop. So hip hop the gold Mbicho Farm. So hao jamaa ndo waliniinspire. Na hapo kwa raga, hoja mwanaimba raga pia ni fashion designer. So that fashion aspect nilitoa kwake, kwa hip hop nikatoa kwa jamaa wengine.
Waweza sema rap kule Mombasa iko vipi? You know, mambo ya hip hop, rap music pale Mombasani iko vipi?
I can say there are a lot of hip hop artists wako wengi sana Mombasa. Wako wengi because us being from Mombasa tumekuwa inspired na majirani zetu wa Tanzania. Ushaona, so ukisikiza wasanii wengi wa Mombasa rap yao ni tofauti na watu huko Nairobi kidogo.
Wanaita kufoka
kabisa, ni kuchana pia.
Mnafoka na kuchana. So mara nyingi wasanii ambao wanaishi Mombasa huwa wanasema yani wakiwa tu kule Mombasa ni ngumu wapate kutokea. You know, lazima sijui uje Nairobi ndio uweze. Utasema is it the same case for you too?
Ni ile tu, it comes individually. Kama unataka una put an extra effort, tuliona to put that extra effort to break these boundaries, tusikue peke yake Mombasa. Tuje pia huku tujaribu kutafuta mashabiki kote Kenya kwa ujumla yani.
Mombasa kivyake kama you know eneo, wazisema entertainment kule iko vipi compared to Nairobi?
Entertainment Mombasa iko poa, watu wanajaribu sana, wanajaribu, ila kuna zile changamoto tuwezi kukosa. But here in Nairobi pia kuna changamoto zake, but that exposure is so wide and people really appreciate one another. In one way or another. Watu wana yule wanatufariji, unafarijiwa, unapoa support paka unashangaa ile. In Mombasa iko, but you need that, you fight, you push, usichoke.
Changamoto pengine ni kama zipi ambazo
kule
umepitia?
Watu wako na vipaji lakini unaweza pata wengine wameridhika, hawana haraka, yani uko kwao wanaamini yuko anytime anaweza.
Mambo ni pole pole tu mwanangu.
Hiyo ndio inatu affect pia. Yani watu wameridhika sana. Vipaji ni vingi, naweza kutajia majina lakini sitaki kutajia majina. Ila vipaji ni vingi. Hiyo ndio naweza kuambia. Kama ni muziki uko kule.
Nakubaliana nawe. I don't know if Unique utakubaliana na mimi kwa Mombasa it has so many good artists. You know, when it comes to rap we have very good underground rappers in Mombasa, wale ambao wana rap na Kiswahili very well, very nicely, na bado kwa waimbaji wapo wengi tu wakina Masauti, and sasa chini ya Masauti wapo wengi sana ambao wanaimba vizuri tu.
Kama huyu jamaa ametushikia huko. Ushaona huyu?
Yupi?
Huyu ambaye ametushikia huku kwa hii ngoma tuna ipromote. Huyo ni mwimbaji mmoja mzuri sana, Zia. Yeye pia yotokea Mombasa.
Wapo wengi. Unique, you were saying something about that.
Yeah, true. Like Mombasa, I've been in Mombasa to kind of certain events. Unapatanga like wasanii, they have a lot of talent. In the talent unaangalia like this guy akipata like opportunity tu hivi, anaweza do very good. That's the reason why, but uzuri Mombasa kuna opportunities mingi haziko. So that's the reason why I always tell like most of artists wenye nimeongea nao naambia ni aje, if you can get a chance kuja Nairobi, then you to perfect on your skill, itakuwa fiti sana.
But I think ingekuwa vizuri tu ikuwe si lazima mtu aje Nairobi ndo apate you know ku break out in the music scene. Ingekuwa na uwezo tu kuwe every other place, you know, like Mombasa kivyake, ukienda kule Kakamega kivyake, kwenda like mtu anaweza tu akachepuka kutokea kule ambapo wako. So maybe una feel nini inafaa ifanywe ama what should be done kuhakikisha kuwa sio lazima tu Nairobi ndo mtu aweze kufanikiwa?
You know, this is the capital city, so the music industry at large Kenya nzima tu ni sit down, come up with some strategy ya kuwezesha all other counties ziweze kuenuka. It all starts from here. Hata ukiangalia serikali vile inasukuma inaanzia hapa. Ushaona kwa hiyo changamoto kwa arts, kila county inabidi lazima ufike jiji kuu ndio kidogo vitu zako ziweze kusukuma.
Okay. So pengine tutahitaji wafadhili ambao watajitokeza pia katika hizo counties zingine ambao wana uwezo na wanataka kuinvest katika wasanii.
A lot of effort and cooperation between us ourselves as Kenyans, because ni shida kubwa sana kwa hii industry, kubwa sana. So ni watu wakae pamoja tu walete mfumo ambao utaweza kufanya industry iende mbele.
Songe.
Ichangamke yani kwa njia moja au nyingine.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Sasa nyinyi kama wasanii, like how do you go about doing your work? Mnafanya kazi kivipi? Nyinyi ni mandugu tayari, mapacha. Kwa hiyo katika mziki wenyu mmejipanga vipi? Like when it comes to how you work, mnafanya vipi kazi yenu?
Like the way we decided to partners, like it was at first mainly kwa single artist kivyangu, yeye alikuwa kivyake. But tuliona kuna changamoto nyingi from recording, doing that video, promoting it. Unaweza kuwa umefanya featuring, umefeature jamaa kwa kazi, sasa kupromote mnavutana, mnasumbuana, mara huyuko, mara huyu hayuko, hizo changamoto. And nilikaa pia nikaangalia kwa nini charity begins at home. And this is my blood brother, naona na kitu uko nje, watu wanasema ana kitu. So we thought, let's do this, let's come up together. And because kwa industry sijaona mtu amefanya hivyo, ati mtu na ndugu yake kando na P Square maybe. Nimeona P Square they did that.
So hawaelewani kabisa, lakini
hiyo mpango ya fast forward ilikuja baadaye, but walianza between them, ushaona. So nisema acha hizi baraka tuzianzie nyumbani, tuitoe huko nje, then tuangalie mashabiki watasemaje kuhusu talent yetu, because he raps, I rap. So we thought of fusing it and to come up with one thing. Na pia inakuwa rahisi in finances wise. This is my brother, we chip in pamoja, tunasukuma.
Mnasaidiana. Ulikuwa wataka kuongezea kitu?
So, pia sisi mapacha peke yake. Tanzania ukienda pia kuna mapacha wengine marapa.
Ambao ni rappers pia wanajiita mapacha.
Wanajiita mapacha.
Sijui au mapacha wa Tanzania.
Wako ukiwatafuta kwa mitandao wapo mapacha.
That's why we called ourselves mapacha
MPC.
Okay.
Leta yetu tulikuwa yani mapacha MPC.
MPC stands for
still that
mapacha bado umeandika in short.
So that that different between us and Tanzania, because ulikuwa Google ukiingia YouTube inakuja ile wa Tanzania. Tukaona toke that MPC so that we tofauti kiasi.
So ikija kwa waandishi wenyu, ule msanii ambaye ametoka hapa just before you amesema yeye huwa haandiki kabisa, yani yeye haketi akaandika muziki, anaingia tu studio, anasikiliza, anafanya mambo yake. So kwenyu pengine najua kila msanii ana njia yake tofauti ya kuwa creative or to express their creativity. So kwenyu nyinyi mfumo wenyu ni upi?
Before hata kuandika mistari kwa sababu kuna vibe. Lazima tuwe na vibe. Without vibe hatuwezi andika hiyo mistari. Ushaona? Sasa tunakuja na vibe. Hiyo vibe ikitokea tunajipata tunaandika tu mistari. Hatulazimishi, because mistari si ya kulazimisha. Lazima uwe na vibe, uwe na kitu yani. That spark, kuna kitu imekuja, let us jot, kuna hii idea, let's do this.
Kwa hiyo mkiwa wawili like muandika vipi? Mkiwa wawili sasa, is it
kama
that
idea imetokea, mimi naweza kuja na idea akaipenda, iweza kuja na idea nikaipenda nikasema let's do this. Sasa mimi uhitaji muda wangu kidogo ni kumeditate, kujiita mkutano kidogo, ushakuta kutengeza ile structure, nijue kichwa kinaanzia wapi na mkia unamalizikia wapi. Hiyo huo ni muhimu. Upate ile rhythm. Si kuingia ile freestyle tulipitoka huko tulipita. Wakati wa freestyle nini I used to do that. Kuweka headphones, mic iko hapo naweza kukuchania mpaka kesho. Lakini sasa hiyo niliona acha ni concentrate kutengeza punchlines, buzz ambazo zina make sense na zinaweza change mtu pia uko nje. Ama vipi? Something like that.
Alright, so kwa hiyo nyinyi lazima mjipange, muwe na mpangilio.
Lazima ili utoe muziki mzuri, hata wewe uweze kusikiza usikie rap. Kuna watu wengine wapendi rap. Sasa ni ile rap tunaifanya kuilegeza. Unaika mistari ambayo itakuwa to the society, mtu yote anaweza sikiza.
Is rap all about punchlines? Rap ambaye hana punchlines ni rap ama
kila kitu inafai kuhit, ukisikia kuhit, ukisikia nyingine imekuhit, that's punch. Ushakuta lazima vibwagizo viwe hapo.
Kuna wakati ambao mmeamua tunaenda kuandika kuhusu hii jambo fulani, alafu huyu akatoa verse yake, huyu akaandika yake, alafu mkaketi mkaangalia mkaona hii yako kidogo
zinakuja such instances, lazima tusikilizane. Umeandika nini hapo, unamaanisha nini? Is it too deep?
Ama sitataka nifinike na mimi, yeye mwenyewe hatataka nimfinike. Sasa lazima tukue pale. Yeah, because we are all goats.
Na ukifanya kazi na ndugu yako kuna unataka kuosha mwingine, lazima mko level. Alright, so ile nyimbo ambalo tukimaliza your new song inaitwa I Love You ndo tumesikiliza before mwanze. Unaweza kutuelezea kidogo ilikuwa inspired na nini, alafu pia mtuambie watu wanapata wapi nyimbo zenu?
This song ilikuwa ni just another day, tumeketi tunachill tunasikiza muziki, then this song ya Diamond na maremu Papa Wemba came up. Ndo tukaisikiza the way Papa Wemba sings the letter really touched us, so we thought we must do something, kitu imelegea kidogo tushikia mafans, si tukiingia tukirap, because Papa aliimba, Diamond akafanya
ilainisha zaidi.
So tukaona tuje na hiyo kitu, that's why tukatafuta mtu wa chorus ambao anaweza kuikunja kidogo, kuilegeza, then sisi tuingie na michano yetu hapo tukielezea kuhusu dem ambaye tunampenda huyo.
Wasichana tuna bahati, tunaimbiwa tu, even the other one is singing for a lady. Watu watapata wapi nyimbo zenu?
Nyimbo zetu, hebu unaweza ambia.
YouTube channel yetu inaitwa Matata MPC. You can go there and subscribe. You will get our music there.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Matata, for coming through on the show. All the very best. You're a good artist, so I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Unique, tatuchezea Matata.
I love you too. I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. I love you too. I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa. Oh, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa.
Na wanatupangia njama, tutapambana, nitakuletea maua lakini sio sama. Niloesha mahaba nidekeze, staki masiara. Uhusiano utadumu zaidi ya kondoboi na kajala. I'm not confused, siwezi kufananisha na madem loose. Umeniteka roho yangu kama drug, umeniseduce. Kukupenda ingekuwa ngane, ningekupa zawadi ya mabawa. Nilileta taruki la mitani kipita sauti dawa. Mapenzi yamenilevya, ile hali nimepagawa. Hadhi yangu kwako ni kama ile Adam na Hawa. Ndoa yetu imemarika, kwa wazazi takubalika. Mijogoa mjini, perfume kwetu kinukisha.
I love you too. I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. I love you too. I need you too. Penzi lako tiba ya moyo wangu, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa. Oh, sijalitupa. Sijalitupa.
Ukubado na flow na ukubado na kuchana, pretty na kushow, believe in me more. I'll never let you go, no sin, leave me alone. Umeumbwa kwa umbi kama chokodo, ukipita mabitozo madatisha, si uongo sinyorita. Hiyo shape English figure imemfinika sidika, ungekuwa
tubonge Kamilia naomba tubonge, Mungu Baba wilonge, gospel time now.
Nipenda kuna kiasi, ningependa nikuone, nikupe yote vyangu, nikupe chochote unachotaka, chochote upate, lakini sina namna ya kukupata. Ungekuwa nafasi unaishi hadi ningekuwa mbali, mimi ningekuja nikuone wewe. Ungekuwa na nambari ya simu, Facebook au Twitter, lakini hata sura ulificha. Nimesubiri sana, lini tutaonana? I don't know what to do. I'm waiting for you.
mateso au wameshaone tishi na mawazo. Nina mzi wangu sasa mimi sitaki fujo, nikiwa na yeye siogopi vya devil. Ademan ongeza besi na treble, nimtaje kama ninaimba tangazo. Ungekuwa nafasi unaishi hata ingekuwa mbali, bibi ningekuja nikuone bebe. Ungekuwa na nambari ya simu Facebook au Twitter, lakini hata sura ulipita. Nimesubiri sana lini tutaonana. I don't know what to do, you know I'm waiting for you.
This love is personal, that's why I love you personally. This love you give me so magical, that's why I love you so badly. My heart speed of me tato, can you drive me just like immortal? My heart speed of me tato, up in my motor. My heart speed of me tato, can you drive me just like immortal? My heart speed of me tato, up in my motor. Can we dance to? Baby, just dance. Hold me and dance. Well, I'm wanting to be with you.
Love me now, baby, don't love me later. Trust me, my love is here forever. I'ma hold you closer, we gon' win together. You make my life complete. What the things that you do to me. Oh, baby, you're my remedy. Yeah, you're my fantasy, come and dance with me. And I'm never breaking your heart. Because I'm licking your body, oh, yeah. Come over and do it for daddy, oh, yeah. I'm licking your body, oh, yeah. Baby, girl, I'm licking your body.
Baby girl, I'm liking your body, oh, yeah. Come over and shake it for daddy, oh, yeah. I'm liking your body, oh, yeah.
Baby, can I'm liking your body.
Oh, yeah, speed of me tato, can you drive me just like immortal?
Mtazamaji, tumekuandalia taarifa zinazogonga vichwa vya vyombo vya habari kutoka hapa jijini Nairobi na pia mashinani.
Wanahabari zaidi ya ubora wao wako ange kukuletea habari pindi zinapochipuka kutoka pembe zote za Kenya.
Kwenye kipindi cha Tamrini tunakuletea mazungumzo ya moja kwa moja kufafanua na kuangazia masuala yanayokuhusu wewe mtazamaji.
Kumbuka, taarifa yenye thamani daima hupokewa kwa amani.
Hivyo basi usikose kuungana nasi kila siku ya wiki.
Tukupakulie na tukutaarifu taarifa yenye mnato kwenye runinga unayoienzi. Kwenye kurunzi mashinani,
sisi DC.
Introduced with good intentions, but turned out otherwise.
Hii mbegu ilikuwa tunafurahia kabisa tukiona kwa sababu hapa ilikuwa ni jangwa.
The invasive species that has turned into the proverbial poison apple.
It indicates that actually there were no studies that been done to show that it will later be problematic.
Join Sarafina Robi this Sunday as she unravels the dangers of this plant that has had even livestock moved to court to seek justice. Dengue, the poison apple.
Your fool is being with us from the bad times and good times. He never gives up. God, your protector.
The way I realized that I have the talent of singing, I just started singing when I was 6 years old.
Yeah, that is more. Thanks to the law.
The challenges are enough money enough money that you use to shoot the video. If you don't have enough money, the clothes.
Look what I found at the library today. It's a small, cute book about how to tame a monster.
Today I'm going to show you how to make the yummiest chicken nuggets at the comfort of your home.
It's my local Happy
Yahweh loves you. He is always faithful. His love is always true. When you seek him first, he gives you all you need. Put the Lord your God first. He's faithful to lead. He will never fail you. He will always be there for you. He will be your strength. And he will see you through. Come on now, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Everything that you need shall be added to you. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Everything that you need shall be added to you.
All right, Entertainment Thursday, it is right here on Good Morning Kenya, and that song goes by the name Seek Ye First, and it is by the artist Tony Gest, and he is in studio with us today. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We are glad to have you on the show today. Let's talk about Seek Ye First. Tell me about the inspiration behind the song.
Yeah, you know, most of the time, most of us, we are busy seeking the things of this world. And, you know, it's very important to seek the kingdom of God first. And everything that you're looking for shall be given unto you. So the first thing we need to do, you involve God in whatever you're doing. And also, you know, everything will work out for you. Yeah.
So it was a word for the people or us to know that they should first just try and seek God before anything else.
Before anything else.
Yeah. All right. Before we talk about the collaboration or the people that you've collaborated with in that particular song, I'll allow you to get to introduce yourself to the people who have not heard of Tony before.
Okay. Yeah, there is Tony Gest mwenyewe. Dania, Good Morning Show, yeah. And I'm really grateful to be here, to my fans, my people those who are supporting us. Manze, asanteni sana for the support, and kwa wale pia wataweza kutufuata today. Thank you guys. Yeah.
Okay. With Seek Ye First, you've worked with two ladies.
Yeah.
Kindly tell me about them and how the collaboration came to be.
Yeah, they are amazing friends of mine from the state, and you know, been looking forward to work with them for the past 7 years. And then last year they just came out and said, okay, Tony, can we do something? And that's how it came about, and we did something with them. Yeah.
All right. So, looking at your channel, you are one who does collaborations.
Yes.
You know, you are big on collaboration for that, other than releasing singles, you know, whereby music by yourself, you've done collabos.
Yeah, I have some projects that are coming up that I'm doing a single music, but right now I'm working on to at least trying to collaborate with people, at least to bring them on board and do something great together. But solos, we have some new music coming. Yeah.
There's new music coming whereby you're working solo.
Definitely.
So with the collaborations, it's because you just want to bring them on board. Yeah.
That's great.
What's the importance of that, working together as artists?
You know, when you're working together, you are expanding your base. Okay, like right now, the project that we did, like with our friends from the state, they're really doing great at the site. So, and also we are looking forward to, next year I'll be going there for 6 months for a concert, and you know, that's why we decided to do that project. Yes, yeah.
All right. You reside in Kenya?
Yeah, I'm based in
You're
Nairobi.
based in Kenya.
Yeah, I'm a Kenyan.
So you are in the entertainment scene in Kenya, that is the gospel scene. Most of the times you don't like to call it entertainment. It's a ministry.
It's a ministry.
It's a ministry for you.
It's a ministry.
So how did you get called into this particular ministry?
Yeah, you know, way back in high school, you know, when I gave my life to Christ, and I've been doing music, but there is something that I always share with people. A reason because I took a break from music for 7 years, and there is a reason behind it, you know, because I remember when we did the first project, Akuna. When I was in the peak of pushing the music, I got attacked by thugs, you know, when I was going back home. And it was that serious, you know. I almost lost my life, but I thank God for giving me another chance. That's why I'm ready, like, I want to encourage people. I want to tell people that you can always do great things, you know, and you need to do something. Before you leave this world, you need to leave a legacy. And that is what we are doing. Yeah.
For the 7 years that you took that break, 7 years is a long time to, you know, it's a long sabbatical. So while you were on that break, what would you say you got to pick on, you know, or you got to learn that you've come with now, that you've come back to the industry? You
know, at first I wasn't doing anything. I was just pursuing music. But right now, for the past few years, I've been like, I have a project that I'm running, community-based project, Light of the World. And we are really doing great work at Dagoretti. We have a school that we are running. We do feeding program, and that is what makes me happy, you know. And I always encourage people that you don't need to be a billionaire. You don't need to have so much money. You just need to have whatever little to impact lives. And that is what exactly. I don't want to be an artist who's just doing music for fame. No, it's just about passion and helping people.
Yeah. Tell us more about this community work that you're doing. Are you working specifically with a specific, probably school, or it's all over?
The schools is ours. Like, we run a school there, but we also work with the community. Yeah, because we've got some program that we are running. Like, there is a Matata. Like, we just identify people who are at least, you know, those who are not capable. Like, they're doing small businesses, and we just give them some startup to help them at least do something big. And that is exactly what we are doing there.
That is amazing. So what's the impact this far?
Yeah, so far we've seen many lives transformed, and that gives us joy, you know, and that's why we are encouraging people. Don't just pursue, like, if you want to impact lives, you know, just do it, you know, and God will always open doors for you. And that is why we're back to the game, and Tony gives Sacco to stay. Yeah.
So now as this new, I want to call it like a new artist, because you've been away for so long, and now you are back. You know, what are we looking forward to from Tony, or what should we be looking forward to from Tony?
Yeah, we've got amazing project coming, you know, and just get ready for amazing work, you know, and we will do our best to make sure that we give our best. Yes.
Maybe my DJ has a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, only one.
Okay.
What is your take? You are saying people are saying gospel is shaking. What's your take on gospel ministry right now?
Yeah, gospel ministry, I always say that it's okay. Well, you know why? Because even if there are people that have switched, you know, but the most important thing, we still have the remnant. We have those guys who are doing well, and I would just like to encourage them to do their best, you know. Yeah, it's just okay to me, according to my perception, you know, because we have those who are preserved, and I think we are among the team, and we will make sure that we take it to the next level. Yes.
All right. For someone who's watching us right now, they are a young person and they would love to get into this particular side, you know, of entertainment, that is the gospel side of the industry. What would be your advice to them?
Now, my advice, don't do music to be famous, okay? Do something, have a side hustle. Like, music is not my thing. Like, I just do it for passion, but I have my stuff that I'm doing. I'm a business person. And, you know, when you do that, you'll be able to at least manage your music. But when you do it because of fame, you'll be disappointed. Yeah, so you just make sure you're doing something. at least you're doing so, you have a side hustle to help you push your music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you've mentioned that, you know, speaking about someone having a side hustle first, are we going to get to a place where artists don't really need to have a side hustle? Because artistry as it is should be a career on its own, you know, like I don't need to be doing some other things on the side to be able to feed into this art of mine. Do you feel like we will get to that point, or do we have people from your own point of view who are living through, you know, this music?
I know, yeah, music pays definitely, you know, and but it's also good to always invest, okay, as an artist. Even if you're successful in music, you need to invest, because even in later time, you're not going to be able to have challenges, you know, in terms of your finances. So you need just to invest. Even if you're doing well in music, but have some projects that you're doing, at least it will sustain, you know,
So it's not to downplay, you know, like music as a career.
No.
It's just that you need to diversify.
Definitely, because we have many artists who are doing that, and we appreciate them for the kind of work they're doing. So if you're an artist, do something also, at least to make sure that you grow, because you want to grow big, and you will always try to do things, different stuff, you know. Yes.
Let's talk about Hakuna.
Hakuna.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hakuna kama wewe. We all know that there is none like our God, you know. In everything that we do, it's only God who gives us the strength to do it. And I was able to do it with my amazing friend, Bamba KBO, Jody Koki, and it's really doing great. I'm really encouraged by the response that we are receiving so far. Yes. Yeah.
How do you get your lyrics to the song?
I think through life's experience, definitely. Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, and mostly when I have an idea, I just put it down and then I work on the verse and everything, and then inakuwa tu music for. Yes.
All right. For those who would love to get to keep up with you and get to familiarize themselves with your music as well, where do they find you and the music?
Yeah, through my Facebook channel, you can look out for me, Tony Gest Music. And then YouTube is Tony Gest Kenya. Tony, N-Y, put a space, and then Gest Kenya. You can subscribe, you can follow us. Manze nitakuwa nimeappreciate tu sana. And also TikTok, Tony Gest, utanipata pale. Yeah.
Across all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Your final words, maybe?
Manze, in everything that you do, weka God first, man. Because with God, hatuwezi chochote bila Mungu. Yeah, so serve God, do your best. At the end of the day, you shall make it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tony Gest, for coming through on the show. I'll now ask DJ Unique to play us one of Tony's songs.
Okay.
Mr. Tony Gest, this is Bamba KBO. Yes, some people say yes, I do to enemy. Me, I say yes, I do to Jesus Christ.
make it tonight, yeah.
Ooh, baby, I'm feeling good, baby. Know if you feel it too, baby. She make we dey move, baby. So jump come in love for this. You know me too, baby. How you go say I don't miss you, baby? She make we dey move, baby. No.
Cause it in my cup. Come a lot of my neighbors on my butt. And I will use no rubber all night long. Then I fly you back to Niger by dawn.
I got you cool, no. I did for you on a long road. I can rip you commas for nylon. I don't book apartments for Nikon.
Be happy tonight. Are they Yankee tonight? Make a play with your beat tonight. Now me and you tonight. I'm so angry tonight. I'm so angry. Make me happy tonight. If you smoke back it tonight, can I go give you back it tonight? Yeah.
Oh, baby, I'm feeling good, baby. I know if you feel it too, baby. She make we dey move, baby. Oh, for them. You don't mean to, baby. I go say I don't miss you, baby. She make we dey move, baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Say feel it too, baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
So jump me on for days. You don't mean to, baby. I go say she make we dey move.
Life is sweet, oh, so sweet, oh. Life is sweet, oh, with you it's sweet, oh. Life is sweet, oh, with you it's sweet, oh. Life is so sweet, oh, with you it's so sweet, oh. I've been wrong about a lot of things, but never wrong about you. I may be angry at a lot of things, never angry at you. I can be your hero, your shield and defender. Because I love you and I don't depend on. My baby, don't let go back to like Rambo. But the enemy I got my go kill like commando. Ooh, life is sweet with you. You kiss me so good, oh. Life is sweet with you. The way you touch me so good, oh. Life is sweet, oh. Oh, so sweet, oh. Life is sweet. Life
bana libend nilizubalia tenda kizubi zubi gang nilicheck nikacheck again and again she's a 10 kame Eva kasipogeuzwa kataungua nikadiva kanasumbua kanafanya dimi na shiva na sina kiwa mimi nacheza shua katajipa si unanijua bank check confirm nishake mpaka dam na venye joka mevaa kamekaa kamenicham na bado sijangam nataka ni jina ya gram na inafanya na jam bana inafanya na jam taki na kati taki mimi nataka sana taki nataka kukujua sana chini ya maji taki mimi nataka sana taki nataka kukujua sana taki na kati mimi nataka sana taki nataka kukujua sana chini ya maji taki mimi nataka sana taki nataka kukujua sana.
Nini munafanya kweli ama ni makoto munatapeli?
Bado si hatujafeli, huduma ya Mungu tunaifanya daily.
Hizo mabamba za gospeli
kumcha Mungu na heri. Nyakati za mwisho vitu kuna vitisho lazima vionekane. Steve wacha ni kusho matapeli mabisho na wasikuchanganye.
Skuzi kuimbia godi imekuwa ni kautani. Utakuwa fanya waziri ikani kama fan. Biashara kanisani mambo tafu number 1. Naita imani hii ni imani gani?
Ulisikia nuru na giza zikitangamania.
Maji matuzie mafuta matuzia vitu na matugulia. Ni injili munafanya kweli ama ni makoto munatapeli?
Bado si hatujafeli, huduma ya Mungu tunaifanya daily.
Hizo mabamba za gospeli
kumcha Mungu na heri.
munahubiri mazuri nani wabaya na waserati munaficha kwenye kwaya.
Ile sio waimbaji
haulo malaya.
Hukumu yao siku ya mwisho ni kwenye fire. Wacha nikwambie wakuhukumu Mungu pekee. Usiwajaji wanaofanya badi wao watapigwa radi usinilete. Wapi ulisikia nuru na giza zikitangamania.
Maji matuzia mafuta matuzia vitu na matugulia. Ni injili munafanya kweli ama ni makoto munatapeli?
Bado si hatujafeli, huduma ya Mungu tunaifanya daily.
Hizo mabamba za gospeli
kumcha Mungu na heri.
Kosa si kosa, makosa ni kurudia. Pole sana kama umevumilia, tulikosana nikaomba ungenirudia, ukanikana hadharani mbele ya dunia. Beti lichomeka, zima moto hawakusaidia, ndege ya dieta kianguka hawakunyambia. Na sikufuatilia, jirani alikuteka mali yangu wakanikulia. Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa, but for you, is that who you have been on me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa. Uko sure ndo mwenye unataka uko sure ni sawa. Uko sure unaweza sema with your chest uko sure, but for you, is that who you have been over me? Umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ni sawa, ni sawa. Nomba on your wedding day stima zipote, upate fat fingers ring isitoshe. Your boyfriend akubaye kadogo ukidhani nika cute kakuume. Mother-in-law na father-in-law wakuchukie wakikuona, unadhani yeye ni catch kumbe yeye ni spam donor. Toni nini unabonya? My lord, I wonder, but as long as you're happy when wependa kenye unapenda imeenda. Ni sawa, umeniacha nimeachika, ni sawa, ningenyamaza yote tisa.
Nafanya huduma, nafanya huduma wako ukinituma. Napenda huduma, napenda huduma wako, huduma.
Mtazamaji, tumekuandalia taarifa zinazogonga vichwa vya vyombo vya habari kutoka hapa jijini Nairobi na pia mashinani.
Wanahabari zaidi ya ubora wao wako ange kukuletea habari pindi zinapochipuka kutoka pembe zote za Kenya.
Kwenye kipindi cha Tamrini tunakuletea mazungumzo ya moja kwa moja kufafanua na kuangazia masuala yanayokuhusu wewe mtazamaji.
Kumbuka, taarifa yenye thamani daima hupokewa kwa amani.
Hivyo basi usikose kuungana nasi kila siku ya wiki.
Tukupakulie na tukutaarifu taarifa yenye mnato kwenye runinga unayoienzi. Kwenye kurunzi mashinani,
sisi DC.
Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. A look at your kidneys and how they impact your health. And an expert discusses chronic kidney disease and how to protect yourself. And Ivorian psychologist Noor Bakayoko shares some insights on bullying and what can be done.
It's important to avoid major events or major health crises.
How do you know if your cough is due to a serious condition? We'll have some answers. Stay well
and strive to make every day a healthy day.
We are glad that you are in with us right here on Entertainment Thursday. Good morning, Kenya. And remember, earlier, okay, that one. My ancestors have agreed. Lazima ujulikane umetoka wapi. Anyway, remember earlier on I had promised that we'll be having an Amputee fashion show. Yes, and did I also mention that it is the first of its kind right here in the 254, and I am more than pleased to have some of the people behind this particular fashion show. That is the Mr. and Miss Prothea Amputee fashion show. And joining us, beginning from my far right, is Brian Masiali, and he is the Strategy and Business Development Manager, Prothea Kenya. And right next to him, we have Belinda Adhiambo. Belinda Adhiambo is the Community Outreach Manager and also the current face of Mr. and Miss Amputee Kenya. And on my immediate right, we have Dr. Nick Were, and he is the co-director, Prothea Kenya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We are pleased to have you here. If you can just begin with you, Mr. Co-Director, that is Dr. Nick. Kindly tell us about Prothea Amputee.
Yes, so Prothea Kenya is actually the first company that has leveraged 3D printing to make prosthetic devices. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, they were made with some long methods, and now we have been able to shorten it, make it more affordable, but also durable and high quality. Mm-hmm. So the fashion show is basically to spread the message that we have amputees who need these devices, and they are available locally and affordably. Mm-hmm. I have so many stories, one being that there are people who get amputated and live many years on crutches, some with these big sticks. Mm. You see them on the road asking for money, and it really heartens me that there are devices that can actually get these people to be incorporated back to the society, back to what they were doing, back to their jobs. And this fashion show is basically to give them that confidence, come and see models strutting along the runway, cheer them on, and just propagate the message that disability is not inability.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And Madam Belinda right here, I can see she has a prosthetic leg. Maybe if you don't mind, would you wish to tell us your story?
Okay, so my name is Belinda, yes, and I was born with 2 limbs like any other. Mm-hmm. At the age of 3, I was involved in a road accident. I ended up getting amputation,
And since then, I think life has never been the same, because the main reason I'm saying I think is because I've grown up without a leg. Like, I don't know that life of having a leg. Remember, I got amputated at the age of 3. So I've grown up changing prosthetics here and there, It hasn't been that easy, because these prosthetics are expensive. The one that is easy to access is heavy. Like, it's heavy, and it has so many challenges on its own way. So I went to school like any other kid, but it wasn't easy in high school. In primary, I think it was okay, because the teacher used to kind of the other kids when they tried to mock me. But in high school, the stigma was just open, apart from a few friends that I had. So my life was just full of challenges, but because I was raised up like any other child. I remember there is a day I told my mom, like, I'm disabled. And because she was punishing me, and she was like, who told you you're disabled? Then alikwambia ni mlemavu. A disabled person is a person born like that. You are not born like this. So don't talk about disability in this house. So I have 4 brothers. I'm the only daughter. So that tells you there is more love on my end. So despite being disabled, at least I'm getting that parental love, and my brothers are always there to support me. In high school, it wasn't that easy because of the stigma and everything. But I'm glad that every school that I joined, they were able to adjust to my disability and accommodate me, like making ramps, making accessible washrooms. Yeah, everybody was just willing to adjust to my accommodation, which was a good thing. Then I went to campus. Then now I came out to this life to struggle. I did journalism and mass communication. So I'm a journalist and a communication person by profession. But getting a job was not easy, because you go looking for a job and they tell you, tukikutuma news na hiyo mguu yako utarudi. So it wasn't that easy. But all in all, I thought of, because I'm going through this challenge, why can't I now do something for people like me? People who have gone through this and are not able to speak up. So I went into advocacy. I've been advocating for disability rights, sensitization of education, the importance of education on the disability side. I've also been talking about sexual and reproductive health for women and girls with disability. Why sexual? Because people assume that in this general world, if you're a man with disability and you marry a lady without a disability, the society will, yeah, ameleta mtu kumsaidia. But if you're a man without a disability, you marry a woman with disability. Watasema, huyu ameleta mzigo kwa hii boma. So it's always a struggle here and there. So the main reason now, because of why we're having the Mr. and Miss Amputee, is because I feel amputation is not seen as a disability. I remember when I was at the entrance, the guy at the reception, we met, we just talked, we clicked like I'm a social person. So we just started talking, and when we were coming, he was like, so why are you here? I'm like, we are going to do a fashion show for Mr. and Miss Amputee. And he was like, what is that? Then I'm like, oh, for people with the leg like mine, like I was showing. Then he's like, I didn't realize you have a prosthetic. So I think it's something most of the people are not aware. They only see wheelchair, crutches, walking aids as disability. But for amputation, it's not that visible to the society. The other thing is because we want to bring these people to the limelight. How many people have gone through amputation and are hiding? Because now the society has decided to see the other side of them. So many. How many people are not able to access these prosthetic devices? So many. Putting in mind, I was raised in Kibra. You know the challenge with the environment and everything. Getting a prosthetic, a good prosthetic like mine, is costly. So what did I do? I had to do a fundraising, and I had to call friends to chip in. How many people say they don't have friends who can contribute even that 10,000 for them to get a prosthetic? So the aim of the fashion show is to create more awareness, raise money to ensure that we have people bouncing back to their normal life like the way I have, and also encouraging them that disability is not inability. If I can do it, why can't you come out and do it? Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Belinda. You are truly the face, you know, and you're speaking for them very passionately. I can tell that you're a journalist. Now to you, Brian, why is this important to you?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. First of all, I work as a head of strategy and business development at Prothea Kenya. And why this is important to us and personally to me, it's because of the transformation of how we can be able to dynamically change the lives of people. We have an issue in Kenya whereby lots of people do not know about prosthetics. And it's not even about the aspect of them not knowing about prosthetics, it's about affordability. So when we have an issue with affordability, then the accessibility becomes an issue as well. So as Prothea Kenya, we were able to come in between so that we're able to manufacture affordable, durable and comfortable prosthetics that are able now to tailor to these people who are not able to afford the prosthetics. And with this event, the Mr. and Miss Amputee Kenya, we're able now to distribute this message that we are here and every person, once you lose a limb, it's not the end of life. It's not the end of your social, economic and career per se. So you are able to bounce back to normality, as my colleague Belinda has said. We advocate for that aspect whereby people are able to be themselves, people are able to live life like an able person, and we don't want to have that feeling of stigma and that feeling of being a burden to society.
Yeah,
yes.
And I love that. I love this initiative for sure. It's fashion with a purpose. So probably maybe to you, Doc, if you can just break it down for us, you know, in your medical terms, but you know, in simpler terms that we can understand, maybe what, you know, when does it get to a point where you decide as doctors we need to amputate this person?
All right. That's a very good question. There are several reasons why we amputate. And locally, the major cause for amputations, which is actually a life-saving procedure, is trauma. Basically, like in an accident, with all these borders around, we get border accidents daily, especially at the facility I work in. And sometimes, you know, you can fix it because the bone is not too fractured and the soft tissues are okay and you can be able to treat it. But sometimes some patients get very mangled extremities, meaning that it's not able to be reconstructed, and the best care for them at the point is an amputation, actually to save a life, because with these mangled extremities you end up bleeding a lot and you can go into shock and possibly lose your life. So an amputation is a life-saving intervention by the doctors. Other causes include diabetes, with the diabetic foot. There's peripheral vascular disease, which is basically a clot in the arteries that reduces the blood supply to the periphery of your foot, and leading to the foot actually dying. And you know, we need to cut up because anything that is dead in your body is very dangerous to your organs. And then we also have cancer, which is also a very common cause, especially in children. We amputate children with cancer. And you know, this is basically, they need to really integrate back into society and get moving with the prosthetic devices. So these are some of the reasons. And as I said, the awareness is really lacking. There's a lot of work we need to do. If you look at our country, Kenya, there are studies that have been done, and they show that 79% of amputees in Kenya lack access to prosthetic devices. And it's for a number of reasons. Sometimes, you know, it's sometimes they don't even know that the prosthetics are available, and the cost. Currently, NHIF and the many insurance companies do not cover for prosthetic devices. And for us as doctors, we want to bring you back to the health that you once had. And health is not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, you know. And once you amputate someone, getting the prosthetic, for me, is at least will get them to the best health that they can be able to get, because they can be able to fend for themselves, for their families. And yeah, that's why I feel it's very important for their awareness and just for them to be able to access these devices. So this is also a call to insurance companies. Pay attention to amputees and pay attention to providing prosthetic devices. Yeah.
Belinda, maybe for someone who's been amputated, or rather was amputated a bit later on in their lives. You know, for you, you were amputated at age 3, so you kind of grew into it. Yeah. You know, you don't remember a life with a leg, you know, with your other leg. So for someone who got amputated later on in life, they were already used to having legs. They actually maybe were in a field where, you know, they needed to do things with their, like maybe they were models, you know, they were models, and it's the strutting that pays you, you know. So for someone who got amputated later on in life, like how do you go about, you know, just speaking to them to maintain their confidence, or to have that confidence back and to preach resilience to them?
So basically, it's a challenge, especially for someone who has gone through amputation at an older age, because adjusting to the prosthetic life is not that easy. That one I can assure you. When we, like in our office, we do have clients walking in, and there is this scenario that there is a client who walked in and he was dressed up. He was just a Gen Z, like I don't know what happened, but he was a Gen Z. So he's there, he's holding his chin because he feels like it's not going to be the same again. So in the process, he's asking like, will I be able to walk again with this leg? Is it comfortable? You see, I'm talking to him and I'm seated on my desk. So when I'm seated, you can't tell if I'm an amputee. So we're just conversing. Then I was like, what if you get the leg and tomorrow you wake up running? So he's like, is it possible? So we do have like those mental health conversations. Like I don't tell you directly like, hey, I'm canceling you. No, but we have the conversation on how to jump from the life of having a leg to the life of having a prosthetic. Then in the process when we were talking, something happened in our kitchen, so I was like, let me go and check. Then when I was working, I was like, all along I've been talking to you and you also have a prosthetic. I'm like, yeah, so I'm telling you it's okay. So I'm using myself as an example to people who walk into our office to give them hope there is life. You can work. You can move from one place to another. You can make friends. You can socialize. It just depends with the mindset of the people around you. And this is what I always tell them. Be you. The world will adjust. If today I start coming in a gunia, people will talk today. But if I come in tomorrow, they will get used to me wearing the gunia. So the human being is built in a different way. They will always adjust to something that comes. If you just introduce yourself the way you want them to know you, that is what they will know you. So most of the time I use myself as an example, and that is why I thought of being the face of the Mr. and Miss Amputee, because I'm not afraid to show my prosthetic. Many people have prosthetic, but it's covered in a form like it looks like a leg. But look at mine, it's a metal. Like I want you to learn that, yeah, I can have such a leg and I can still walk. The other part is the social life now. Once you go through amputation as an adult, your friends some will walk away, some will remain, but you'll make new friends. The most hurting part is when friends walk away. And why does this happen? We used to go clubbing. Oh, yo, I can't club anymore. You get like, so what I tell you is, we used to go sherehe. We used to go to these baby showers, we do short dresses, we do. Now you can't, because now you have a prosthetic. What do I tell you? Create new circle of friends. Go on, interact with new people. I can friend you as long as you want. So when you're able to get new friends, because a human being is like a bird. At some point they will fly. So it's normal. I love that. I love that for sure. Maybe to you, Brian, you know, with the fashion show that you are planning, do you have enough models in it? And probably if you can give us the number, if you have the actual numbers of how many models you have.
Yes, we do have models, and we decided to have variety for the event. So we have kids, the kids section. We have both men and women, so we wanted the gender parity to be evenly distributed. And ideally, it's a good event and transformative, life-changing because as my colleagues have said, we need to drive a message that it's possible and it's not the end of life once you go through a traumatic experience that leads to an amputation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you put a call for, call to for the models who are amputees to come forth, or how did you go about getting the models on board?
Yes, absolutely. We had a call for amputees to come through, and not necessarily to the amputees that we have been able to work with, or rather in a way that we have served them before. But we wanted to make a national face out of this event. So we went all out and about so that we can get representatives from all over the country. Yes.
So every model coming on board, it's both male and female, right? It's Mr. and Miss.
Yeah.
All of them have a prosthetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a day for amputees to show and just enjoy themselves and bring everyone on board to support them. It's their day. Yes. That's how we've planned it out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of good things to come from it. Yes, yes.
I'm sure that inclusivity is just so beautiful. I'm sure it will touch something in them, just to include them, because I know that those who would love to be models, but then you look at yourself and you kind of like pity yourself and think, okay, now I may never really get to achieve that dream of becoming a model. But you putting such an event, just shows that they are also included. They can do whatever it is that they've always wanted to do.
Yeah, and it's actually tied to looking at the patient, at the amputee, holistically, such that even if you've treated them physically, there's emotions, because, there's a lot of depression after amputation, and many of us healthcare providers don't really focus on that. So at Prothea, we treat the patient holistically, have some psychosocial support, as Belinda has talked about, physiotherapy and training on how to use your prosthetic device, and just try to bring all the healthcare practitioners to the workshop and basically have the patient receive all these services instead of you being sent to the prosthetist, then you're sent to the physiotherapist, then you're sent to the psychotherapist. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to inculcate. And even in the fashion show, we're really inviting healthcare providers to come and just see what the patient goes through even after their intervention. Yes.
Yeah. Belinda, is it comfortable? I mean, I've seen you walking. You just walk like kawaida. This one I'm asking specifically for someone who's back at home and probably they have someone who has a problem and maybe they may be looking into getting the prosthetic and they're wondering, is it comfortable? Will I be walking like everyone else?
Yeah. For me, I can say mine is comfortable. With a prosthetic, you need to adjust. And the other thing is we have different types of amputation. Like for me, I'm an above knee. Above knee is always not easy to adjust because now you need a joint. This one now, here, this is a joint.
Yeah, your camera, can you get that?
So this is a knee here. So it has to work like my other knee. So I have to learn how to control it with my brain. So there is a way I'm making steps, and as I make step, I'm having it in my mind like, yeah, it's my prosthetic time to step. So I need to fold it, then lift it to the next one. So it's something that you learn, and that is what Dr. Ria said about training you on how to walk. So it's a process. You have to learn to walk with it. Then now we have the below knee amputees, like the model who will just walk in. She's a below knee amputee. So for them it's easier to adjust because now the knee is there. So the other part that is missing is just the downer part. So it's very easy to flex. Yeah, but it's very comfortable. Mine is comfortable. Yeah, I wake up every morning, I shower, I put on my leg. It's my normal life. Like, I think I got used to that point where without my prosthetic, I'm not able to do most of the things I do. And that is why I'm actually advocating for the insurance and HIF to be inclusive. Because if I wake up and my prosthetic is broken, I'm not able to do anything. That is health. You see, to them, being sick and being admitted is health. But to me, my prosthetic is health to me. Yeah, so it's comfortable and very friendly. Yeah.
All right. Maybe to you, Brian. are we having an entire fashion show like every other fashion show that we see? You know, we're used to the Miss Worlds, Miss Universe Kenya, Miss, you know, different Miss Earth. You know, are we expecting a similar kind of show?
Absolutely. Inclusivity, as the name suggests, we want to include every individual, every human being on earth so that they feel they belong to the society. And what you normally see on Miss World Kenya or Miss Tourism, Miss County, Miss Kenya, you know, all those pageantry, we are actually incorporating them and making them special, unique with persons with disabilities. So we encourage different stakeholders who can join us in this journey so that we make these people call it impossibilities into dream possibilities, because everything is possible. Yes, so absolutely we intend to make it exclusive, we intend to make it special and unique.
Yeah, so you've already put so much work into it.
Absolutely.
As it is.
Yeah.
So maybe to you, Doc, before you get to a point where you're amputating someone's limb, whether it's the leg or the hands, because also the hands get amputated.
Yes, of course.
You know, do you first like talk to these patients and let them know, okay, now we'll need to, because I can imagine I just went in, you know, and maybe I was in a coma and then I wake up and, you know, I don't have one of my limbs and so on and so forth. So is it procedure to first speak to the patient?
Yeah, so sometimes you do it as an emergency. If you're bleeding, you know, you're going into shock and things are looking dire, of course we do get consent, but if you're not able to give consent, we talk to your closest relative or the next person, basically like your wife, for example, or if your child, your parents, and basically fill in the form, the consent form for us to amputate. Now, this is very key, and it's important for people to listen to this, because the decision to amputate can save your life. For example, in diabetic feet, the foot gets infected and it really becomes a systemic infection, goes throughout the body, and this infection can affect any organ, and that's how it progresses. And literally, when you amputate, then you are able to reverse all this effect with good antibiotics and proper care. Now, some people, and I have a long list in my head, delay to make this decision. Others say, no, you're not going with my foot.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they pass on.
It's traumatizing, I mean, I can imagine.
They pass on. And what you're saying is so important, because we need the psychotherapy. We do have psychotherapy at the place I work in. We also do a family conference where we bring everyone responsible for the patient's health on board, and we just talk about the benefits of what this procedure is going to be to the patient. And this is how we go it, and this is the standard, the highest standard of care that we should give. I mean, you just don't go in and say, hey, we're going to amputate you this evening, don't eat for 6 hours, you know. It shouldn't be like that. So there's a process we take, but of course in emergent situations, in life-saving situations, it's our responsibility to save life first. So once we get the consent, we go in and do it. And I just wanted to say about some complications that may occur also with amputations. The most common being phantom limb pain. They get some pain at the stump because the body still thinks that the limb that has been taken out is there. And there are many ways of dealing with it. There's the medication that you can discuss with your doctor, physiotherapy, and most importantly, having an early prosthetic done. Some people take 1-2 years to have the prosthetic fitted. Can you imagine, as early as 6 weeks after surgery, you can have an initial socket done, and as the stump changes the shape, then you can have another one, and now a permanent one, because the stump does change shape. And that's an important message I want to bring out. You don't really have to wait so long to have your prosthetic, because the sooner you get up, it manages all these complications that may occur.
Okay. Yeah. On that note, we'll take a short break, but don't you go too far. When we come back, we'll be having an amputee model getting to model for us. We'll be back in a moment.
Introduced with good intentions, but turned out otherwise.
Hii mbegu ilikuwa tunafurahia kabisa tukiona kwa sababu hapa ilikuwa ni jangwa.
The invasive species that has turned into the proverbial poison apple.
It indicates that actually there were no studies that have been done to show that it will later be problematic.
Join Sarafina Robi this Sunday as she unravels the dangers of this plant that has had even livestock move to court to seek justice. Dengue, the poison apple.
There's faith in my world. It comes back to your teachings and all your words.
Swala ni jambo ambalo limesisitiziwa kwa sababu Mtume Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam aliwahi kusema kuwa amefaidika yule ambaye atatekeleza swala yake hali ya kuwa ana khushu'.
Aswa usarqata alladhi yasriku fi salati, yule muizi ambaye kwamba ni mbaya kushinda wote ni yule ambaye kwamba anaiba katika swala yake. Mtume alipoyasema yale, maswahaba wakashangaa, wakamuuliza wa kaifa yasriku fi salati, vipi mtu anaweza kuiba katika swala yake? Akasema alladhi la yutimu ruku'aha wala sujuda.
Akolo beshimali wala kwa mkono wa kushoto.
Yes, I swear by Allah, I swear.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Before we took that break, we were talking to Prothere Kenya, you know, part of the people who are in this particular, it's an initiative?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this particular initiative, and they have a fashion show lined up for us. That is the Mr. and Miss Prothere Amputee Kenya. Now, Belinda, do you model?
Yes,
When did you start that? Journalist turned model.
Yeah, it's called change of career or something, because I realized most of the people with disability are not okay with modeling. There is a call for audition, they don't show up. Why? Because the society has stigmatized them to a point they feel less important. And so the idea was to bring these people to the limelight and tell them you can model, you can act. You see the acting that we normally see, like a normal able person sitting on a wheelchair. We want to do away with that. We need you to get a wheelchair person. Tell them, hey, we are doing this show, come fit in this, because we need a person with disability. Don't act like a disabled person. Give a disabled person a chance to act this space, because they deserve it. So I'm going to model. I'll just not model as an amputee, but also a plus size. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing that I'm looking forward to is because we have kids on board. Why are we having kids on board? we have kids who've gone through amputation and they don't have people to look up to. But if we get a kid and there is a kid that is going to get amputated, Dr. Nick can call this other kid who has gone through amputation and has interacted with the environment and is comfortable. We'll come tell this other kid, sunona naweza cheza ball, hata wewe utacheza. We need role models to ensure that these people don't go missing along the line. And the other part is we need people to support this event. We need them to buy tickets. Please sponsor this event. Make it visible. Ensure you send a coin, you send a shilling. Why? Because we are going to bring people to their normal state. We are going to get them another chance to work like any other person and earn a living. You don't need to beg on the street because you're an amputee. We can get your leg. After getting the leg, what's next? You can walk to those offices because most of us have papers, but the device is the problem. I can't work because my boss thinks I'm not able to because of my condition. But if I'm in a prosthetic, and the way you said, if I walk in here and I don't tell you I have a prosthetic, will you be sure to know that I have a prosthetic?
No, really.
No, maybe at some point, maybe I'll just tell you like, hey, I need to go for an assessment because my prosthetic has this and this issue. Maybe that is when you realize I'm an amputee. But without that, you'll be seeing me as a human being like any other. Don't see the disability. See Belinda first. You can see plus size if you want to, but
that's
don't
what you have allowed them.
Yes, but don't see the disability. Yeah. So see me as a human being first, then my disability will come later. Yeah.
All right. Brian, what's the importance of having that support system, you know, for amputees? You know, I can only imagine how, you know, lonely it can get if you don't have that kind of support system. So what's the importance of having that support system?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question. The importance of the support system is to, first of all, transform you psychologically, that despite you being persons with disability or you have been amputated before, you are accepted in society. Because the biggest problem we normally have with amputation is stigma. Because once you lose a leg, you're considered, number one, inefficiency. You're also considered as somebody who is now dependable, completely dependable to family and to well-wishers. So if we have that solution whereby there's that support, it brings in, or rather it crops up the idea of we are together in this. We are all holistic, we are all human beings. And it's pretty important because healing starts at the mind.
That's true.
Yes, I cannot tell you that, okay, I'll give you a leg, a prosthetic leg, and then just like that, you start walking. No, you have to first believe it in your mind. Your family has to believe it, the people close to you, and also the society. And this is what we're doing, society to know and believe that persons with disabilities and specifically amputees, it's not the end of their lives once they have been amputated. They can do what any other person can do.
Yeah, beautiful message right there. I don't know if my director, we are ready to get the model. As we do that, maybe to you, Dr. Nick, is this something you're planning on doing, you know, on a regular, you know, the show?
Oh, yes, of course. Now, the idea is to make this an annual event, make this a worldwide event that can get that support and awareness globally, because we need to focus on this special group of people and provide them with the appropriate devices they need. Get that 79% who do not have these devices. Let's bring that number down to even 50%. And that way we'd have made a mark. This is the whole vision of this event.
Yeah. Okay, now as I had promised earlier, we have an amputee model with us. Her name is Diana Nanjala, and she will be strutting for us. So Diana, the floor is yours. Can do one more round. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is Diana Nanjala. And I'm sure even as you're watching Diana strut, you can't really tell that she has a prosthetic. I mean, it took me a moment to realize, oh, okay, yeah, I can see it. So, hi, Diana. Hi. How are you? I'm doing fine. Yeah. Have you always been a model?
Yes. I've been modeling since 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're okay with sharing, when did you get amputated?
Okay, I was living a normal life through primary, secondary, and then college. Then last year, March, I got involved in a road accident. I was in a boda, and then a transit ran over my leg. So there's nothing else which could be done by the doctors unless being amputated. So I was amputated last year. In the month of March, and then I got my prosthesis at around September. So I was able to walk in the same year. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you were able to walk in the very same year. So you got amputated in March, as you mentioned, and still in the same year you got your prosthetic and you were able to walk. Did that make you feel better about yourself? Because I can imagine, you know, after you get amputated as a model, you know, that's the work you do. I'm sure maybe you kind of was questioning, you know, am I really going to be able to live my day-to-day life? Was that what was going through your mind? And after getting the leg, did you feel better?
Yeah, sure. Okay, at the moment when I got the accident, it was a really tough moment for me. Like, it was so difficult to accept the fact that I've lost one of my leg, and it's something that, like, my leg was my everything. Like, I used it in modeling. It was like everything. It meant a lot to me. So when I lost it, I felt so weak. I felt like I couldn't continue modeling. Like, I was so disappointed, so stressed. I had a lot of feelings at the moment when I was in hospital. But again, my family and friends encouraged me through the journey because it takes a lot of time to heal. So my family encouraged me, and then I also encouraged myself because the accident could have been worse.
Yeah, could have taken your life.
Yeah, it could have taken my life, and so, you know, I couldn't be here today. But because it took my leg and I got another leg, so I'm able to walk again. And I was looking forward. I usually tell my friend that I was looking forward for an amputee show, because, you know, in this situation, like, it's difficult to compete with those who have both legs. So I really wish to get like an opportunity to showcase my talent through with people like me, like people who we have the same challenge. Yeah. So when I heard about the Prothea, about the fashion show, I was so glad, and yeah, I couldn't wait to apply for it and then to showcase it.
So you've had the prosthetic for more than a year now. Are you already used to it? Does it feel normal to you? Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's very comfortable and it's normal to me. Like, okay, I would say the only challenge is that I can't run using this type of prosthesis. Like, this one is just for walking. Like, even if I have to walk, I cannot walk like too fast. Maybe, you know, I'm tall, so I can
need to calculate.
Yeah, the strands are longer, but I cannot walk faster and I cannot run, so that is the only challenge. But I'm already used to it. Like, before then, I think the first month when I was having this prosthesis, I was like, in the morning when I wake up, like, sometimes najipata nimesahau, so natoka kwa bed naanguka. But with time, right now I'm used to it. Like, in the morning when I wake up, naiva, do my everything, and then jioni I remove it. So it is part of me, it is part of my life now, and I'm proud of it.
And I love that you've accepted that, and I love that you're proud of it and still doing what you love. So it's so beautiful to see. What does this fashion show mean to you?
Okay, this fashion show, it is very important to me because at least I would feel like I have not lost it all. I still have a chance to showcase my talent, because I treasure modeling. And the fact that I lost my leg, it's still in my heart. I still don't want to let it go, because it's still in my heart. So this fashion show, I think it will, because even right now, I still struggle with self-esteem, because when you just walk around, people will look at you like, these legs, they don't look alike, like this one is different, you know, people stare at you. Yeah, but so sometimes I really struggle with self-esteem. So this fashion show will really encourage me and other amputees to know that they are no different from others. Yeah, and they can do it. Yeah. And personally, modeling is what I love doing. Yeah. So this is everything to me.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to be on that runway.
You can do it, and I'm really rooting for you. Actually, I have a favorite already on the fashion show. My favorite is Diana, and I really hope that you get to win and become Miss Amputee Kenya.
Thank you so much.
All right, all the best on that.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you as we get to finish maybe with this conversation. You can let us know when the fashion show is happening, where exactly it's happening. If there are tickets to be bought, where do they get the tickets? Who will go with that? Tickets.
Yes, so the fashion show will be happening on 4th of October at Hyatt Regency Hotel in Westlands. And we have tickets on www.mtickets.com. As well, you can visit our socials, Prothea Kenya, across board, and you'll have also links to the tickets. But my clarion call is to all sponsors, corporates, personalities, this is individual personalities, to come on board, join us, so that we are able to push this event, to make it a success, and to change lives, because at the end of the day, we want an even society. So this is my message to Kenya and to the rest of the world. Let's join hands, let's come together and do this cause and make it a success, because as my colleague had said earlier, we want to make this an annual event, and every year we need to touch a life. And if we change a life, then it makes for me, by the end of the day, I've done my job and I've done a good part to this world.
All right.
So I welcome all of you, including you yourself. I want to see you to the event.
I'll definitely come.
Let's come together and make this a dynamical change, and also celebrate, because inclusivity is everything about life, and it's the beauty about life.
Sure.
Yes.
I'll allow you to give us your parting shot in the fewest of words, beginning with you, Belinda.
So personally, what I can say is my disability is my right to inclusion. Include me, not because you feel like I'm supposed to be there because of a prosthetic. No, it is my right. The second part is you who is outside there. Have you ever thought about touching a life in a positive way? Then this is the platform. What are you waiting for? Come on. Let us join hands and ensure that these people come and walk like any other person.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you all there.
All right. Dr. Nick?
Yeah, for me, it's just out to the public to just emphasize that an amputation is treatment in itself, and it can be a life-saving procedure in itself. And whenever it happens, don't despair. There are solutions out here. There are solutions that could incorporate you back to society, and all hope is not lost. We are here for you. Yeah.
All right, Mr. and Miss Amputee Kenya. It is a first of its kind right here in the country. So it is only right that we go forth and support this beautiful initiative. It is fashion with a purpose, and I believe it is very necessary for us to have everyone included, because, I mean, we're all people. It does not matter the kind of challenges that we come with. We are all people and humans at the same time. My name is Vivian Dagwa. This is Entertainment Thursday right here on Good Morning Kenya, and this is where we put a cap to it. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who has been tuned in, and on behalf of the entire team that has made this a success, we want to wish you a lovely day. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
mse.
Utiaji.
We, washtakiwa?
Wewe utiaji itakumaliza wewe mzee. Na wewe hata chupi unaipa ya nini? Na wewe si msichana. Wewe ni mchinga ya wapi hata wewe?
Kwa nini hiyo miaka yote ikawa ni siku hiyo tu? Umetuitania polisi.
Ninyi wote ni kama mlirokwa.
Wewe nyamaza.
Na mali si tulikuja tukakumwakia takataka.
Hapana.
Hapana, si ndio? Na usiniongeleshe na malingo kwa sababu hata mimi niko na malingo. Wewe ulikuwako tukienda kumwaka hizo takataka?
Si ndio?
Ulikuwa tukienda kumwaka hizo?
Mimi alikuwa hiyo ndo niwashike.
Wewe mama acha ongea ukweli.
Ngoja.
Unafutanga bangi?
Tumi bangi.
Sasa ni swali gani hilo?
Mama anaongea vitu za ujinga, yani mtu mzima.
Wewe ukimwangalia huyu anavuta bangi.
Ever crazy.
Wewe, hata niongea.
Unasonga kuliko
Nilipiga kidogo ndio hii mkasema quick, batu. Mtasema batu.
Undoubtedly entertaining.
Anguka na check it. Anguka na.
And mind-boggling.
We are doomed. We are doomed. Members of parliament, we are doomed. I'm telling you.
The savage netizens.
Wacha nilie kwanza.
Capturing that unique moment.
Tunasonga kuliko nduthi.
As technology advances, it continually expands the possibilities for digital art. Art to stimulate the imagination, bringing new worlds into our reality. Works not just for looking at, but that you actually become a part of. Japan has a vibrant digital art scene. Works like this, produced in collaboration with traditional arts, result in unique events that can only be experienced at specific sites. Digital artist Muramatsu Ryotaro pioneered the use of projection mapping. Muramatsu's work is internationally known, but this ongoing project is his first attempt to connect people around the world on an emotional level. He calls it the Dandelion Project. Dandelions propagate by releasing seed in small balls of fluff to be carried on the wind. Muramatsu placed dandelion objects around the world that transmit digital fluff to each other, blossoming into virtual flowers on arrival. Muramatsu hopes that these exchanges of digital flowers will connect people everywhere in their desire for peace. We live in an era of increasing social fragmentation. People are divided by their words, each insisting that only they are right. But words can have many interpretations, and this leads to conflict. My project relies on actions, not words, connecting people with digital seeds that blossom into flowers, symbol of peace. This event was held in Kyoto. Dandelion Project events are always popular, attracting many participants. From their smartphones, they sent digital fluff bearing a prayer for peace, signed with their names. When the fluff from Kyoto reached its destinations overseas, it blossomed into digital flowers. The people at sites around the world who receive the flowers send fluff back to Kyoto in return, joining in the prayer for peace. Their digital dandelions blossomed in the grounds of Kyoto's beautiful temples. Muramatsu had long been developing this idea, but it only became possible thanks to advances in digital technology. His team conducted numerous trials to perfect the experience, to give the sensation of the fluff flying across the world in real time. How to get this feeling that something digital is actually flying across continents? We designed the whole experience focused on that, to give people that immediate sensation of reality. It's an artwork that's only completed by the actions of everyone who participates. Muramatsu wanted to realize this project so people could feel their connection with others, precisely because it's something so difficult for most of us these days. Sending these digital flowers to each other is joining together in a prayer for peace over a network that intimately connects us all. This act of connection is what makes the art of value to us in the present age. Each fresh advance in technology brings new and exciting ways for digital artists and their audiences to express their innermost feelings.